including those not seen on TV, go to buyatoyota.com. It's Toyota's official website for deals from the official vehicle of the New England Patriots. Toyota, let's go places.
Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
I saw that first episode of Hard Knocks. The Jets are going to be either real good this year or they're going to just be terrible. Oh, I hate them. You know, I just made Paul...
You almost snarfed out my Diet Pepsi. I hate them.
Also, I never received my trivia T-shirt back in April.
Good job, Matt.
Matt has a problem with the postal office.
He's very
There's a lot of people that have gotten their shirts.
I think we can strive for 100% in this endeavor.
I agree.
Fred can't finish a sentence without laughing at Hardy. Fred breaking character as he pokes the bear. Typical media person, very thin skin.
Very thin
A lot of thin skin.
Kind of like you.
I don't have a thin skin.
Oh.
I have a hide like an elephant. You know, the unwarranted braggadocio-ness.
What a word.
Yeah.
Can you spell that?
I probably could. There's 2 G's in it.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Thursday here at Gillette Stadium, and so you can see us. We can't see you, but we can hear you. We can read you, and we'll be here for the next 2 hours. It's Tamara, it's Paul, it's me, it's Matt in the booth. Evan and Deuce are in Green Bay, and at some point this show, we're going to hear from Deuce, you think? Or
Well, I think Mike, but I'm hoping because yesterday went very long. Their practice about 2.5 hours yesterday. So if it's something like that again today, they either are going to have to cut their watching short and go and
they can call during
chime
it.
in. Yeah.
Can't they call during
Well,
practice?
you know those two. Like they can't miss a play.
Well, you can't watch and talk at the same
You
time.
think they'd figure out what was actually going on? I'm
Multitasking.
just kidding.
Anyway,
Multitasking is hard.
We're going to hope that we hear from them. But we'll talk about the practice yesterday, the reports that came out, and according to some of the reports, we were talking earlier, Paul, anything happened.
Yeah,
Because the
basically,
reports,
if you thought it happened yesterday, Tamara, it happened.
You can
Because I
find-
read it somewhere, vastly different impressions of the practice.
you can find a report that will match anything that you wanted to happen yesterday.
Literally.
Including Demario Douglas getting all the reps with the starters.
And then there was another report
And he
that
didn't
was
get
like,
any.
no.
Right.
And then there was another report that said he went 4 for 5 or whatever with Zappy and only got 1 play with the starters. And I'm
Right.
like, which one is it? It
Right.
can't be both.
Right.
I read a lot of different people because this is a rare time, Freddie. I don't miss too many training camp practices over the years.
Yep.
So I wanted to read as many different people to try to. It seems like the Patriots' offense got off to a really good start. They were crisp and efficient to start the first 11 on 11, and it gradually went downhill from there. And by most accounts, the biggest reason for that was pass protection. The offensive line really struggled. They're still missing some pieces, and they had a hard time getting the ball down the field. But there were some things to take away on the positive side as well, so we're going to get to all that as we go. Defensively, surprisingly so, the pass rush was good, but other than that, the secondary struggled a little bit, which I was not anticipating. So it sounded like the defense had a tough day.
Okay.
I will say going into it, when I was talking to Evan before they left, he said he was more worried about the secondary, being able to face, the 2 wide receivers that Green Bay does have. He said, both of them were going to be a handful, and I'm interested to see what they have to say after watching today's
If
practice.
those two guys
get
were
used to it.
If those two
I know.
guys are a handful, then we got trouble.
Yeah, because they're gonna be facing some really good receivers with some really good quarterbacks.
I mean, you got a quarterback, first year starter, and 2 second-year receivers that had decent rookie years, but nothing too special. But it seems like from all accounts, everybody agreed the pass rush on both sides controlled things, and the Packers' offensive line was missing pieces too. So it was hard to sort of gauge everything because of the pressure the quarterbacks were under.
Were they hitting at 100%? Or
Not the quarterback.
No, but in terms of running game or tackling.
No tackling.
No tackling. Yeah. No, so there wasn't any goal line or red, any of that
there
stuff.
was a lot of red zone, but
Yeah.
I don't think there was any live goal line plays, unless they didn't write about it.
Okay. And then
Zeke was there.
Zeke was
Zeke
there
was
wearing
there.
number
Yeah,
15.
Got a new guard.
Yeah.
Did you see the size of him? He's
Zeke?
huge.
Zeke?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
Now
What-
he did have like sweatshirt, like a
Yeah.
long sleeve,
Mhm.
whatever,
And sweatpants
underneath.
on.
So I think he looked a little bit bulkier, but yeah, he looked big.
Yeah. What is it? I mean, I know he goes at like 220.
25, I think.
And then height-wise, what is he, 6'1"? Is he that
Why
tall?
don't we just look at him?
Yeah.
While he looks it up, I will say one topic that everyone was on the same page on was kind of the shock of Mac Jones finally talking about what it's like to follow in Tom Brady's footsteps, which I thought was interesting. Of all days for it to come up yesterday.
Well, Jordan Love is following in Aaron Rodgers' footsteps, so it's a natural question, But, yeah, this is really the first time he's talked about that.
Yeah, 6 foot 225.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was asked that question. Fred's right. In relation to any advice he could give to Jordan Love following. I don't really think it's the same because I kind of think Mac Jones followed Cam Newton. I don't really think it's the same kind of situation.
You could make that case, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So that was, and then other news yesterday, Robert Kraft was in the mix for
Snubbed. you could
coach
say it, Fred.
contributor to the Hall of Fame and didn't get in. Buddy Parker got in.
Congratulations to Buddy Parker,
Yeah.
Buddy Parker's family.
Who's been dead for 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
I thought it was strange. Not that I think he's not deserving, because
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. But reading some stuff about him, he is widely considered the inventor of the 2-minute drill. That's a pretty significant
That
contribution.
gets into the Hall of Fame?
No, I'm just saying that's a pretty significant contribution to the game.
Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to be like that, like that gets you to the Hall of Fame. Well, what did Robert Kraft introduce to the game?
Money.
But how so?
Making it better, doing all those
No,
deals.
I'm not. This is not an argument, but it just was kind of a snarky comment.
No,
He
no.
gets in the Hall of Fame for that.
No,
Like,
listen.
Yeah, I kind of think you should get in the Hall of Fame for things like
Well-
that. And I would say shame on the committee for 40 years if he actually is the inventor of the 2-minute drill, and it took him 40 years after his death to get in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
It sounds kind of silly to me.
Yeah,
That was
well-
more of a shot at the committee than anything
No, I
else.
understand. But, again, you know me about Halls of Fame. I don't think any owner should get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I would agree with you.
Unless, they
Unless
were
it's
all,
our boss.
Yeah, unless they were a coach first or a player and they contributed. It's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's what your contribution is to pro football. I think Robert Kraft had a lot of contribution to,
Yes.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
to pro football in the NFL, in all the help he did at the committee level,
TV committees.
Yeah.
I thought he lent a lot of
Now,
expertise.
like Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame. Jerry Jones did a lot for the Cowboys, and he did a
he-
lot for Jerry Jones.
he did a lot for the league, too.
Did he?
Similar kind of stuff.
Okay.
When he goes rogue and introduces his own, deals, what do you think that paved the way for? Everybody else to do it.
It paved the way.
Put a lot. To your point, it put a lot of money in owners' pockets,
Right. But
and that helps the league. The more money there is, Fred, the better the league is.
But I would also say that like Paul Tagliabue's in the Hall of Fame. He shouldn't be. He did his job. Pete Rozelle should be because of what he did, getting all the games on free TV and all that stuff. So I don't know. I have a high bar.
I do too.
I have a
I'm with
high
you.
bar.
We're lockstep on
But I think Robert Kraft should be in before Buddy Parker. I'm sorry. If it took him 40 years, it's like
I would agree with
it's one of
that.
those things. When you see it, you know. And the fact is, it took them 40 years after his death to put him in. Probably shouldn't be in.
that.
Sorry.
I would agree wholeheartedly with that assessment.
Yeah.
To me, what changed in? I'm not trying to be snarky.
No, I know. You have
But
to
what
be-
changed in 40 years?
Right.
It's almost like someone forgot, and then they're like, "Oh,
Oh, yeah,
what about
Buddy
this?"
Parker.
Yeah,
So, and I'm sure there are a lot of
and
people
these
like
writers
that.
are like, the 100 million people that follow the NFL, you don't know history of the game, but we do. So we're going to put in Buddy Parker. Oh, please. Overthinking it.
I think that's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Overthinking it. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that have been out of the league for 30, 40, 50 years that belong or deserve to be. There should be some way to just sort of fix those errors and not really have them be part of this process. Like, to me, Tom Coughlin, Mike Shanahan, Marty Schottenheimer, Robert Kraft, these are the guys that you should be thinking about in assessing, not guys that have been out of the league and unfortunately, in Parker's case, no longer with us for 40 years.
So I was thinking that, I guess after Pat Bowlen got in, he was the owner of the Broncos.
This one's
They
for
changed
John.
They changed the contributor thing to coach and contributor. So now they're all in the same bucket, and they used to not be. So now I think it's harder for an owner to get in because you're going up against coaches, that have more direct, influence on players and teams. So conceivably, there could be a day where Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick are on the same ballot to get into the Hall of Fame. That could happen.
Oh, Fred really wants to start trouble.
I mean,
hopefully they separate it and have contributor.
Well, that's the
and
way it
coach
used to be,
again.
but
they
now
should put it back.
Yeah, I think so.
They should put it back.
Can you imagine that?
Who should go in first?
I mean, imagine talk
Fred.
radio if that ever happens, like the debates.
I feel like it would have to be Kraft in first because Kraft hired him, like he brought him here. So it's like you wouldn't be here without him.
You could, you can make that case that, like, you had your chance at Cleveland. It didn't go well. You were back to being a coordinator. And then Robert Kraft not only hired him, gave up a first-round pick and a lot of money in order to get him here. Like, the faith he put in him to get him here. That a lot of people criticized him at the time, told him it was a terrible decision.
He bet on Bill.
Terrible decision.
Absolutely. That part is 1,000% true.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he should be in first.
Yeah, why? I mean, I think he should be in first because I think he should be in first,
I think he should be in first because I think he's a strong and powerful man.
Yeah.
Who happens to sign my check.
Conceivably that could happen. Which would be really weird.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Anyway, so practice yesterday. They're out there today. We're going to hear from Deuce or Evan at some point during the show. And then we have a new segment that we're going to be doing, right? At about the midway mark. Instead of listening to a whole bunch of commercials, we've got something different.
Matisse Bauman's Hot Takes.
Do you want to preview that? No, you don't have to play it, but just tell us what it's about.
So Matisse, our very own Faith Worrell, and Dylan from the content team, they are giving hot takes and talking about it, and they're funny.
So it's like a show within a show?
The show within a show.
And is it going to get us in trouble because their hot takes
trouble.
are controversial or anything? No?
It could get controversial with you guys.
Okay.
You could start disagreeing with
now,
the takes.
I know at some point we're going to be giving away stuff during that segment.
Starting
right?
with the next episode.
Okay.
It's just the introductory.
So it's not just to have new people talk. They're going to be out there giving things away.
It's like our street team.
Yeah. So I know we've had a lot of people saying they haven't gotten their T-shirts, so we'll have another opportunity to not send people T-shirts. So.
I see like the envelopes with the T-shirts in the back of Matt back there. So like he definitely took it to heart, Fred.
Progress.
When
you said we really should strive for 100%, I think that one left a mark.
It's like a fulfillment center.
They just
back
had to
there.
resend their addresses.
That left a mark.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
One quick update on Jack Jones. Obviously, we talked about that briefly in the last show.
Big update.
It is an update.
It is an update that, the court date is rescheduled, and most are insinuating that means maybe a plea is on the table.
Good or bad, Fred, that was pushed back?
For him, it's good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now it's in the season.
Yeah, but now at least he played in the Eagles game.
Oh, so you think he gets a game in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
September
See, my original thought on that is like that. Now it's in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
After the season starts,
well,
not the actual.
It'll still bear watching about how much reps he gets, who's he playing with, to see what investment they're making.
And that still concerns me.
Yeah.
Because he's still, we're not supposed to use starters, backups, those terms, but he's still not really with the regulars on a consistent basis.
Right.
He evidently struggled a little bit yesterday too, and had a few fights as well.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's not good.
He was getting into it with a receiver, or a rookie receiver, and then a rookie quarterback he started yelling at.
I'm all for the firing.
I don't
and
think
the
there was any.
but
there was nothing too bad.
I
See,
know,
I don't
but
have any, I don't
he's
have a
always
problem.
the one.
Well,
it's too much.
Yeah,
too
for
much.
him individually,
Chill
I
out.
think he needs to relax.
Chill
but
out.
I mean, in general, I know, everybody clutches their pearls when pro football players practice against each other
happens.
and there's a fight. And that would never happen here, except for like the last 6 times we've had joint practices.
Exactly.
There have been fights because there are fights when guys get together. They're going to be fights.
My first day of practice, I almost got into a fight.
Here we go.
No, it was a
Memory
it
lane.
was a stand-up drill, and I was playing linebacker, and the running back came through, and I might have hit him a little bit too hard. You weren't supposed to, and he took exception to that. And there was some
Throw the ball at you?
No, there was some pushing. It
That's what I
wasn't
would've
no
done.
blows were thrown, but it's my first practice. I really didn't know what I was doing.
I'm still stuck on Paul saying clutches pearls. I don't know why, but every time I hear that, it just makes me giggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Clutches pearls.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm an old soul. What do you want me to tell you? I didn't have anything modern to give you.
I love it. Also, we haven't really talked about this, or maybe we haven't talked about it. Maybe we have talked about it, but I haven't been here. What's going on with John Jones?
Yeah, that's another good question. It's like 7 or 8 practice. I think today will be 8 in a row. And when he first wasn't available at that, I think it was like a Sunday that he wasn't available. It was, oh no, it was the night. It was the in-stadium practice.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just veteran time off, and now it's over a week later, and we still haven't seen him. And I think I think the secondary struggled a little bit yesterday, from what I read, and I think that's a huge part of it because you have Marcus Jones playing a lot on the outside. He struggled. Christian Gonzalez had his hands full a little bit yesterday as well. But I think Jonathan Jones just slots guys, and without him, everybody's up a notch. I have a developing take on depth in the secondary, Freddie.
Yeah.
I think Sean Wade is a guy who we haven't really talked a lot about. It seems like he definitely played well the last handful of practices that we got to see here in Foxborough, and it sounds like he made some plays yesterday as well. Could he take a spot away from a guy like Miles Bryant?
Yeah. I would.
And I'll tell you why I think that is the whole thing about inside and outside. Like, I think Wade has the size to be able to play on the outside, and Marcus Jones doesn't. Miles Bryant doesn't. They have to play sort of in the slot, and I think to be most effective, and they might need that.
Yeah.
They might need a guy who can play outside.
And let's fill people in a little bit on his history here. He came in. What, they pick him up on waivers, or they trade for him?
They traded for him 2 years ago.
Right. He was a first-round pick.
No.
But he was highly recruited, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a 5th-round pick of the Ravens. He was going to get cut as a rookie. He
Right.
was not having a good camp.
Right.
And they traded him for a conditional pick to the Patriots, and he's played very little in his 2 seasons.
And he has, when he's in, he hasn't played well. Let's
he
be
had,
honest.
Yeah, he had a tough day, I think, in Buffalo last year in that last game. I think he gave up one of the bombs.
Yeah. It's like, it seems like he gets in and he's immediately involved in a play for the other team. But maybe all of a sudden the light's going off, and it happens.
I thought
maybe all of a sudden he's getting it.
I thought he was around the ball a lot the last handful of practices we
Yeah.
got to see here.
Some people it takes a little longer.
And I think his size could give them more depth outside than Bryant or Marcus Jones, especially if Jack Jones is out of the equation. Now, it looks like, I think Tamara's right. That's the way everybody's writing it, is that I think Mike McCann sort of said this is an indication that could possibly lead to, him playing out, which I wonder how that works for the Patriots, because if you plead, if he agrees to a deal, doesn't that, wouldn't you think that he would have to admit guilt?
I
Oh
think
yeah,
so.
a plea deal. It's not going to be a plea and you get off scot-free. It would be a plea that either
So a lesser charge, no jail time.
Yeah, or less jail time, or no jail time with parole, maybe community service, which that's easy. You do that anyway when you're on the Patriots. But he's going to have to do something.
Well, if he's going to have, I wouldn't agree to a plea deal that involves jail time if I were him, because that ends his NFL career.
It does.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, we're hearing that it could be a plea deal, but it could be just other technicalities.
Oh, this could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm just going by Mike McCann. I
Yeah.
think Tamara's right. That's what Mike McCann, who's a local sort of sports, legal sports expert. I think he's right now. I think saw something from him on Twitter today. I think he's teaching a class at Harvard Law.
At Harvard.
that.
Yes,
Oh, because I think he started at UNH, right, or something like that.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Also, Paul, I like your take, too, about him potentially taking Miles Bryant's spot because now we have so many more additions on special teams that can return punts. So, like, Miles Bryant was doing that occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
I even saw yesterday Keon White was returning punts, which is crazy.
No, he was covering punts.
I mean, just, like, the different
Yeah.
people that are returning punts, whether it be Douglas, whether it be Bolden, whoever it is.
Bolden and Speed. Yeah, I think
Bolden, Speed.
both of those guys have special teams ability. They have, in Bolden's case, return ability. So
It's like,
yeah, I can take out a backup cornerback who can return punts to put another guy in who could play special teams and return punts.
mm-hmm.
You know, in Isaiah Bolden.
Yeah.
Yep. So a lot of options there. A lot of
Yeah.
options. What about Mac? How did he look yesterday from reports?
He was a little up and down, but he had his moments. It was funny. This is another one of those things that I think, depending on who you read, I read a couple of people that said that he looked like some of the sacks, some of the pressure was on him because he wasn't getting the ball out on time and in rhythm. And I read other places, including Evan, that talked about that being a strength, that he did it looked like he did a good job of getting the ball out before breaks and putting the ball on him, had a little bit extra velocity on some of his throws. So I think it's going to be one of those things depending on who you believe.
And
Do we
everybody's
know-
favorite backup, Malik Cunningham. How did he do?
Yeah.
Uh,
Four snaps, all
yeah.
runs.
Yeah. Okay.
Did anyone talk about, if they can actually see what's going on? Is that why there's so much like unpredictability in like the reports? Can everyone actually see? Because at Raiders joint
Yeah, I
practice, we
didn't hear
couldn't
any
see anything.
complaints about where they were watching practice from.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't hear any. It just they were field level, I think, which kind of makes it a little bit
Yeah.
more challenging. But I didn't hear anybody. To
'Cause I
Tamara's
know
point,
Raiders joint practice, we couldn't see it all. So I was like wondering if it was the same thing, and maybe that's why it's just a roller coaster of responses to practice.
Well, I know we got into a little thing yesterday. We were told that once the teams got together,
Mm-hmm.
we weren't allowed to shoot photos or video,
Oh, okay.
either team. And then, lo and behold, Packers had photos and video. So I understand that today we're going to be able to shoot the whole practice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That'll be great.
hopefully that comes about, and you'll see a bunch of stuff on Patriots.com.
Do you think there'll be any worry, so to speak, after these joint practices if the O-line continues to play the way it does? Like, do you think there'll be some sort of movement to potentially get some help there? Or do you think they'll just ride it out and hope for the best with the people on the PUP returning?
Yeah, that's the thing. If it all depends on health. If guys who are on PUP doesn't look like they're going to be getting better, I think they have to. But otherwise, I think they're going to ride it out with who they have and hope that they improve.
yeah. And one of the things that came out of yesterday was that Michael Wenyu is there, which I took as a positive sign.
Sure.
We've seen Cole Strange pretty much every day since he got hurt. He's been around. I haven't seen a lot of Wenyu. He made the trip, and I guess he was on the field in sweats. So maybe that's an indication that he's getting closer, and they do think that they'll be ready for week 1.
That's good.
I did see someone just tweet that Connor McDermott left practice early
Yeah, I
and he's
did
not
see
there
that.
today.
Uh-oh.
So hopefully,
I saw that he left
hopefully
yesterday.
it's nothing.
Okay.
Hopefully it's nothing.
All right.
But
So the offensive line, to me, if you have Brown, Strange, Andrews, Onwenu,
Mhm.
and it still looks like crap, then you have a major concern. But I think until you see that group out there struggling, I'm not as worried about it. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
that makes
Is that
total
too
sense.
optimistic for me, Fred?
No, I mean,
Should I rethink that?
yeah, that group should be okay. They should be okay. But
I mean, I think that's much like the receivers. I don't think it's the best group in the league,
No.
but I think it's enough to.
we've had worse.
Yeah, it's enough to have success with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wait, we haven't talked about receivers yet. I did see Parker had that seemed to be another person that everyone was kind of across the board like they had a good
Everybody
day.
said that he was the best receiver for the Patriots
Yeah.
yesterday.
That's, the rebuttal to Demario Douglas having a career day was, no, he wasn't the best receiver on the
Parker
field.
was.
Parker was.
Yeah.
Like even Mike and Evan, who have been head of the class of the Demario Douglas bandwagon, didn't say much about Demario Douglas yesterday.
Mhm.
Booty, and that
Oh,
first
yep.
that first period that they had that was the most successful of the day. Evidently, Keyshawn Booty caught like 4 passes.
Yep.
And he was his most active that they've seen in 11-on-11s, according to Evan.
So they practiced for almost 3 hours yesterday. I probably won't
There's another one.
Yeah.
So I read 2 hours and 27 minutes. I said, I don't know, like like 4 hours. Like Mike Reese said 2 hours, 27 minutes. That to me that's the gold standard.
Then that's it.
That's what I go by. But yeah, Fred's right. I heard 3 hours.
I heard 3 hours. Yeah.
Like they
Wow.
couldn't even agree on how long the practice was.
It's something, isn't it?
That's why I was like, what, can they not see? Like, is it?
Yeah.
I'm just, I have questions.
Like, I guess maybe if you count a rival standing around at the beginning, after practice, when they break up into their little groups sometimes, signing autographs, maybe that whole duration was 3 hours, but I'll go with Mike.
Yeah.
He's
And I'm pretty sure I saw, I don't know if he made that public. He might have sent me something. I missed. I just missed with my Diet Pepsi.
sorry.
It's almost impossible to not get it in from there, and it went on the backside.
Right.
That's just poor.
Get him the
me.
2-liter bottle.
That's just put. No, that's for the second half of the show. Relax. That's after Fred's food comes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, a couple of other things that I thought were interesting coming out of it, like the health is obviously the health up front, but on the positive side, Keon White continues to be active. Dietrich Wise, I guess, had a really good day pressuring the passer. Judon, as always, was up there. So I thought the pressure on the passer the Patriots put for the front seven was a real strong point on defense.
I think this front seven could be good.
I'm intrigued by what they could be this season if they all remain healthy, like Barmore included. Like,
Yeah.
if they can have a whole season with all of them.
Yeah, I think Barmore was good yesterday
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Scary.
Barmore and White as interior sub rushers to me is intriguing.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when they had it was Warren, Wilfork, and Seymour.
Mm-hmm.
That was, all three of them first round picks. That was a nice defensive line. This one could get up there, but I think what would happen is, so you got Keon White and you've got Barmore, and I think what makes it really good is Judon. When he's coming up.
Yeah, and then Uche on the other side.
Yeah.
So you have some balance if things fall into place.
So they're not all tackles, but I think those core people really could make this a formidable front seven.
Yeah, different style,
Yeah.
but much more conducive to today's football.
Yep.
This group.
Yep. So I'm excited about that. A little bit disappointed to hear about the secondary, but like you said, with
plays.
Jonathan Jones out there, kind of puts some people in the wrong position.
But if you want the worry to me in the secondary would be the big plays they allowed, and then you wonder how much of that is the absence of McCourty. And they're still searching for that free safety. They've used a lot of different guys. They've used them all. Jalen Mills, Phillips, Duggar, and Peppers. They've all had chances to be back there, and you wonder if that had something to do with the struggles for Gonzalez yesterday and Jack Jones yesterday on some deep balls.
Yep. All right, 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket Hotline. Web radio at patriots.com is the email address. Any other thing? Oh, by the way, from what I understand, the implosion of the Jets has begun.
Oh, so I wanted to ask you about
Yeah.
this. Did you see any of the stuff about this?
I didn't. Well, I saw some of
So-
episode 2.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Are you talking
No.
about the joint practice?
joint practice
That is
is-
absurd.
Oh.
So
Absurd.
Rick Stroud, who's a longtime Bucks beat writer and one of the really good ones that's been doing it for a while in the NFL, tweeted out that the Bucks are working with the Giants today rather than do the second day with the Jets, which is an arrangement that was agreed upon in March.
Okay.
Everybody else is saying the Jets bailed on the Bucks.
Okay.
Like if it was agreed upon in March,
Right.
like I don't really understand. This is one of those. I have my hand up in the back. I need more information.
Yeah, I don't even know anything about that.
Like if I'm supposed to kill the Jets, I want to know I'm supposed to kill the Jets. I want to go all Fred. I hate them.
Yeah. But one of your guys, Paul, Phil Perry, said on one of his shows yesterday that He said the same thing I said.
No, everybody is saying it, Fred, because that's the only way you can possibly think that the Patriots are better than
No,
them,
but
is by telling you that they're going to fall apart.
He's saying it's because of the coaches. He said the coaches are a mess. They're making too much about things. They're too, sticking their chests out.
Right.
The defensive coach is talking about peeing on children's toys and saying ridiculous
going
things
on?
like that.
That just took a turn.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's just nuts. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the impression I got out of episode 1. I heard episode 2 was more of the same. And he said if they're mugging, whether they're mugging for the camera or holding back because of the camera, either one's not good.
I don't really know what that has to do with anything. I just
What,
don't.
you mean
I just
if your
can't see
coaching
that.
staff isn't good, it has nothing to do
if
with
your coaching staff isn't good,
Yeah.
then that's a problem.
if-
I'm talking about mugging for cameras or not.
Well-
That to me, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, it means that they're not focused on what they should be
Why?
focused on
Why does that mean that?
because they're thinking too much about the cameras.
Okay.
No?
No, I don't think that thinks that at
okay.
all.
Okay.
Back to the joint practices. Why would you only agree to have one and then make them go all the way back to Florida to come all the way back up here for
It's
the
very
game?
odd. Yeah.
Oh no!
Well, I don't
no.
think they're going
they
back.
Didn't go, they didn't go back. They went.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
with the Giants.
But
Yeah.
it's like, why would you do that as the Jets to force them to leave and come back? It's
But
crazy.
but why agree upon that in March and then
Yeah.
have people say, well, they flaked on him and said they're not going to do two. Like someone said that they weren't the Jets weren't disciplined enough to have 2 days in a row of practice.
Yeah.
Now that might be true. That might have happened. I know there were a lot of fights in that practice too.
Yep.
All these joint practices are filled with, if they're not flat out fights, there's a lot of push.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing that I forget who it was? There was a pass rush 1-on-1 that the defensive guy came over and he sort of was bull rushing the offensive lineman and they got kind of tangled up. And then the defensive guy took like a little shot at the guy. And one of the guys that wasn't even in the drill
gosh.
came flying out and buried him. Like just buried him. It's good stuff. I like it. Physicality.
Yeah.
You
But
can't do that to your teammates. You have to do
No.
it to the other guys.
I know.
I
but-
will say our best joint practice was against the Raiders. It was clean.
Yeah.
No issues.
What was the one where I think it was Bourne got into it on the
Panthers.
sideline?
Carolina last
Yeah,
year.
that
Panthers,
was.
yeah.
That wasn't good.
There was all kinds of fights.
That
And
wasn't
Carolina
good.
also had that, that hit on Wilkerson, Christian
Right.
Wilkerson,
That's
that,
right.
that knocked him out and actually kind of ended his career. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yep.
he got a concussion, was placed on IR, and we haven't really heard from him since.
You're right.
And then that guy was kicked off their team that did that.
Yeah. That's not good. Again, I'm all for competitiveness and fiery and all that stuff, but that's not productive.
No.
It's stupid. You're letting your emotions get the best of you. There's other ways to handle it.
Not good, Bob.
It just takes the time that you have and just, it's a waste. It wastes time.
It does.
So, but glad to see the Jets having trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than if it was going swimmingly,
Yeah.
right?
I'm telling
Because
you.
I really think that's the only hope.
Your team takes on the characteristics of its leaders, and if the coaches are acting like, ugh, it's going to trickle down to the players.
I think that's what you have to hope for.
Yeah, I'm hoping for it.
I don't think you can hope to just go out there man on man and beat them.
I'm praying for
I think
it.
you have to hope that they fall apart.
I still need to go watch that first episode.
Yeah.
Are there 2 out now?
I think so,
Okay.
yeah. Chris with a TIAN writes in, no idea if the Jets coaches are good or bad, but the D coordinator is a tool, total meathead with every cliche in the book. Also, like ours, their O-line sucks. Rodgers explodes by game 5, and it's all downhill from there. Please, God.
There it is.
Yep.
There's the game plan for the 2023 Patriots.
I'm all for
Hope
it.
everybody else implodes.
At least them. It's just it's Schadenfreude.
Well, I just want to be good. I don't really care about who's not good. I want the Patriots to be good.
Yeah. I want the Patriots to be
Like-
good, and I want the Jets to be bad. I can't root for both.
Yeah, but they're not going to be bad. They have to implode to not
Well, that's
win
what I
as many
want.
games.
I'm hoping for that. Why can't I wish for that?
You can. I just would rather just be better than them.
Why can't it be both, Paul?
Okay, whatever. I don't really take much solace in beating a team that wasn't trying and imploded.
Oh.
I take
When
great
it's the Jets?
I take great solace
Absolutely.
in being better than,
Oh,
than my rival.
You're trying to be too fair. You're trying to be
I'm
too
not being
objective.
fair. I'm not being objective.
I want
I'm not being fair or
I want
objective.
nothing.
I want my team to be better than them.
Yeah, I want nothing but
There's
bad.
nothing objective about that.
I want nothing but bad things for them.
No, that's fine.
Nothing.
That's fine. I think of Miami the way you think of the Jets, but I would rather be better than the teams like, kind of the Brady era. That was the beauty of it. It didn't matter what they did because I was better.
I know, but
that's what I want.
My fear with the Jets is they've got so much talent that they're going to overcome the nonsense.
Well, that's my point about I don't really care what's going on in Hard Knocks. Like, do they play well? Does Rodgers play well? Because if he does, it's not really going to matter what they did in August to mug for a camera.
It's good stuff to talk about. I like it.
They have offensive line issues, too. It seems like everybody does.
Yeah. 855-PATS-500, webradio@patriots.com is the email address. Let's get people involved here. We'll go to the Ace Ticket Hotline. Christian from L.A. is on the line. What's up, Christian?
Hey, you guys. Good morning. And we get closer and closer to the actual season starting. So here's my quick, bold prediction. Is by, I guess, the fourth game, Devontae Parker will be hurt, and Keyshawn Boutte will take over as the high pointer, kind of a young receiver that steps up for it. I'm going to leave you guys with that and get back to it.
Okay. Thanks. I mean, could happen. Although Boutte would probably have to be on the – he says Parker – I think he said by the fifth game Parker's hurt and Boutte takes over.
Okay. Then they're in real trouble.
Why?
You think – how many, rookies are going to be playing prominent roles?
Yeah, what about Juju?
Well, I think he's thinking a little bit different style.
Okay.
But I think Boutte would have to start on the practice squad.
But Bootie's like what Tamara said. Bootie's more like Juju.
Yeah.
He's like a physical slot receiver.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then.
But my point is you want Douglas to be a part of the offense. You want Boutte to be part of the offense. And we're looking for a jump for Tyquan Thornton. Does that sound like a great recipe for a great offense to have all these young guys? Now, maybe they all work. I don't know. Other teams seem to be able to get young receivers that make immediate impacts, but
yeah,
I mean, I haven't seen that really with the Patriots.
Todd's in North Carolina. Hey, Todd.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Okay.
I'm your local alarmist, as you know, and when Evan says his hand is over the panic button with respect to the offensive line, it kind of is alarming. So I heard you guys talk a little bit about it. How far away are we from just having a disaster season because we just can't block somebody? One injury, or do we have enough depth to maybe handle two injuries? I don't know. I'm just, when Evan says something like that, kind of.
I don't think it'll be because of the offensive line. I'm on record as saying I've seen a lot of teams have a lot of success with terrible offensive line play.
Okay.
Most recently, the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl.
Well, I was going to say, usually when that happens, it's because the quarterback can adapt. Yeah.
So are we dependent on our line because we don't have a quarterback that can adapt?
I think the less individual skill that your quarterback has, the more reliant you are on your offensive line giving him time.
So then we're having to worry about, maybe seeing Malik more or something to try to throw off people, or this. This is kind of concerning. I don't understand exactly what he said because he mentioned some stuff.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with, getting the ball out of Mac's hands quickly, having him be decisive, and, Bill O'Brien scheming.
Right. And the reason why I think it's a problem is because I don't think they have dynamic playmakers. Now, the easy retort to my Kansas City and Cincinnati Super Bowl trips with bad offensive lines is, Kansas City went with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. And Cincinnati went with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. The Patriots don't have those. So they're going to have a harder time overcoming average to below average offensive line play than those teams would.
Right.
And I agree with that.
Brent's in Reno. What's up, Brent?
Hey, guys. I just got a quick question for you. I found out I got a baby coming in March. And I just want to know how early is too early for me to get the Patriots logo tattooed on said baby?
Well, that's the thing. Besides the pain, the baby's going to get bigger and the tattoo's going to stay the same size. So you probably want to wait until he or she fills out a little bit.
4, 5?
Yeah.
Years old?
Yeah.
4
months?
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
All right.
Now, are you thinking upper thigh, shoulder, back shoulder blade? What are we thinking here?
This is I was thinking he was asking how early is too early to get him or her a Patriots Unfiltered shirt.
Yeah.
That's what I thought the
Oh,
question was.
never
gonna be.
too early for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are we thinking, Brent? Like back shoulder?
Well, I'm a sailor, so you got to be careful. How accurate do you want me to describe the answer to that question? Let's just go ahead and say the left shoulder. Like maybe Popeye style.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you guys for answering that. It'll be littered in Patriots gear tomorrow. I promise you that.
All right.
Congratulations, Brent.
Yeah.
In all seriousness.
Congratulations.
Hey, thanks, guys.
All right. Brent and Reno, thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never too
Baby
never too early.
tattoos. You can get those, the fake tattoos that you put on.
Maybe should try to
Yeah.
start
Like
off
henna?
with that. Something that's a little less permanent.
What
like
is it?
henna,
What's-
henna tattoo is like semi-permanent.
Although, well, I know those, but the ones that come on a piece of paper.
water?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, might want to start with one of those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Otherwise, Morel will be the as
Yeah.
the expert.
Marines get
on
real
ink.
tattoos, right?
Yeah, he has the ink.
Yeah. Willem and Philem. What's up, William?
What's going on, Fred? How
Hey,
you doing?
All right.
All right. Question is for Paul. Why not? Paul, can I just be honest?
What was our?
God damn, this team is frustrating the hell. Oh my God. Okay, so you said I'm hearing that the secondary is getting a little bit exposed. Could that be also because of last season? Your corners are too short. Marcus Jones, what, 5'8"?
Yep.
Jack Jones, what, 5'10"?
Well, and he's
Maybe
not
that
out.
might have
Yeah.
something to do with it.
Yeah. No, I think that Gonzalez is bigger.
He's
and
6'1", right?
That's why he was a
6'2".
first round pick.
Yeah.
Correct.
But yeah, I'm not. I didn't. Let's not make this out to be like there's a lot of concern about the secondary. I think the secondary had a little bit of an up and down day yesterday, and I wasn't
Right.
really expecting that because the defense has been pretty good throughout the summer, and I thought the defense struggled a little bit based on what I've read. Now I didn't see any of it with my own eyes, so you know me, Fred. I'll let you know when I see it.
But here's the thing.
I'll
Here's
go
the
all Bedard on you.
with
I'll
our,
let you know.
With our formidable front seven, once you get into real games and quarterbacks can really get hit, that's when it'll help our secondary.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. All right.
For
Just two.
Okay, go ahead.
Did he leave? I think we might.
Hello?
I think he might
You
have
still
dropped.
there, William?
I think he might have dropped off.
Or bad connection, I guess. All right, call back if you want. Patty's in Agawam. What's up, Patty?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Tamara?
Hi.
So, I'm not really counting on the Jets to implode this year. But Polly, I'm with you. The Dolphins have been my NFL Yankees since I became a huge Patriots fan. But they're the team I think that, and I'm not. I think Tua is a good quarterback. I do. I don't think he's the same guy since he hurt his hip. But I mean, you see the difference with him in there, and
Yeah, like last year, it was night and day when he was out. But they also really didn't have, you have a rookie 7th round pick in Skylar Thompson trying to play. I would think that Mike White would give them a better opportunity to sort of move the ball a little bit. To me, the big thing with Miami will be this year. Obviously, Patty's right. I mean, Tua's health is number one, but the bigger just as big for me is the impact that Vic Fangio can have on the defense. Does he make them noticeably better defensively? Because they were a train wreck defensively last year, and still found a way to win 9 games or whatever many games. I think they went 9-8. So, and if you can keep the quarterback healthy, you can outscore 10, 11, 12 teams. But at some point, you got to be able to play some defense too, and it'd be interesting to see if Fangio can do that with them.
Yep. Is that it, Patty?
Oh, there he is. I was like, I want.
Okay. Thanks for
We're having some
thanks for the call.
cell issues, I think.
Yeah. James Pettigrew, the most interesting Patriots fan in the world, says, "What did Robert introduce to football? Paul, he brought us the world's original podcast."
No, that was Fred.
No, well, listen, we all work for Robert Kraft, and if it wasn't for him, nothing would be possible. Right?
Correct.
So, got to give him his due. There you go. Webradio@patriots.com is the email address. Let's see. Nathan writes in. He says he listened back to Tuesday's show, and it's a little bit annoying that fans are wanting Cunningham as QB2 and seem to want to push Zappe out. On what evidence can people suggest it that we saw him play against a bunch of nobodies? At least with Zappe, he is a solid backup. He can play in the NFL as a backup, as we've seen when he stepped in for Mack last year. Mack is clearly QB1, and Zappe has to be QB2, as we know he can step in if Mack gets hurt. I think, Nathan, you're taking a little bit too seriously there. I know there's a lot of people.
Oh, no, I don't think that's taking it too seriously. A lot of people think that he should be the backup.
I know, but, serious people.
Yes.
Yeah. Not just, ultra fans.
No, a lot of people think he should be the backup. Just a couple of quick notes here. Evan Lazar, red zone offense, lit it up against Green Bay. Mack and Zappe both touchdowns to Juju, Bourne, 2 to Parker, 2 to Douglas, Ferkser.
Wow.
And Zeke had a rushing touchdown.
Wow.
Also,
by that, I think we're winning 45-0.
Mark Daniels, another fight. I don't know what the first one was. Anthony Jennings just leveled number 51 for the Packers, which is Keyshawn Banks, after he took a swing at Keon White during a special teams drill. So, things are getting frisky.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Can't wait to hear from one of our guys when they call
Andrew
in.
Callahan, Pat's red zone thoroughly dominated. So that's good.
So everyone can take their hand off of the panic
This
button.
is generally what they do. I saw that Greg Bedard wrote this today, and I wholeheartedly agree. That's been their pattern in joint practices a lot lately. Not every time, but they have a tough first day, and they bounce back a little bit better in the second day. So far, it seems like
So
that.
this is about an hour into practice, you would say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Uh-oh.
What?
Evan Lazar, Tyquan Thornton leaving practice after making a diving catch on a deep ball.
Oh, boy.
Looked like they were checking out his shoulder.
I can't.
All right,
I
so
just
you know what?
can't.
I'm going to stay off of Twitter and wait for one of them to
Report.
call in because I'm just going to drive myself crazy.
I just can't with him.
It's good to hear that from the offense, though, that they're finding a way to, find production with this offensive line that is working through some things.
Kyle in Pembroke says, while I'm hyped about Pop Douglas, I don't think he'll be a major contributor, which in his case would be 50-plus catches. I think he'll really step up next year and use this season to learn and develop. Do you agree?
I think that's more realistic, is that it would take a year to sort of get your feet wet. And then, even if you look at who's the best of the best, Welker, Edelman, right? At that spot, you're talking about Douglas, right? Did I miss?
Yeah, Pop Douglas.
Yeah, well, DeMario.
Yeah.
The best of the best did not do it as rookies.
Right.
It took a little while. Now, you can contribute, and I expect him to be a contributor. But, I'm not expecting him to go out and catch 80, 90 balls.
Right.
As a rookie. I think people think that way of Edelman and Welker, but that's what they became. It's not what they initially were.
Yep.
Now they might also. This guy Douglas might also have more opportunities than they did because Douglas is going to be entering an offense that doesn't have the amount of sure things that Welker and Welker did in Miami, obviously, and Edelman did with the Patriots.
Ron in Conway, New Hampshire. As far as the joint practices, there are concerns, but like Paul stated, if Onwenu, Strange, Brown, and Andrew are all in there and are close to coming back, things might be all right. I'm warming up to Zeke due to his blocking and pass catching and getting tough yards when needed. And lastly, Paul, I watched the Johnny Manziel documentary on Netflix. It was really great. So that's his review of the.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was worth the watch.
I heard it
Manziel
wasn't all entirely accurate.
Okay. I could definitely see that.
But
I know when we watch documentaries that we're sort of intimately inside of, we know there's some inaccuracies in those, right?
Yep. Gerald in Grimsby says a lot of experts, he has that in quotes, had the New York Mets winning the World Series this year with all the veteran acquisitions. At the trade deadline, they were trading Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer. They're
Correct.
11 under 500 and out.
Correct.
I'm with Fred. Would love to see a Mets-like implosion with the Jets, and they are left scratching their heads asking what happened. Stacking the deck doesn't mean success.
Okay.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make you feel good though if they implode?
Like how does that work? Like
What do you mean? How
What's
does
the
it work?
implosion?
You mean implode by
Like there's infighting.
Like the Mets closer got hurt in the World Baseball Classic, and they were never the same after.
Well,
Is that the implosion?
or do you mean
yeah,
a
that's great.
personality implosion?
No, like
I mean, we can ignore why things happen
I'm
too.
talking about infighting. Rogers starts, spouting off, all that, all of it.
Like I wouldn't have any issue if it's all because of Aaron Rodgers, because I don't like him. I make no bones about it. Goes back to 2010 with the discount double check.
Yeah.
Haven't liked him since.
But it would be.
And I don't think he wins enough. For all the talent that he has, I think he's ridiculously good.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's won enough.
Let's see, Jared in New Orleans. I like Fred's hatred for the Jets, and I also agree about how the Jets are going to implode. I feel the same way toward Buffalo. I think the Bills are our biggest rivals.
Don't leave out Miami.
And the Jets are always going to be the Jets and do Jets things during the season. Yeah, I have less hope that the Bills implode, and I wouldn't have the same pleasure if they did. But for the Jets, if they
I would feel better about the Jets imploding than the Bills because of Aaron Rodgers, and I like Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So if they implode because Josh Allen is distracted with his actress girlfriend and stuff like that wouldn't make me as happy.
I would be
as it
happy
would with
but
Aaron
I
Rodgers.
wouldn't have as much pleasure as with the Jets. David writes in from North Carolina. I was able to watch the Jets-Panthers practice live. Anytime the two teams played 11-on-11, Rodgers never had time to throw the ball.
Yeah.
At the end of practice, they ran 2-minute drills. The Jets went 3 and out. Rodgers angrily tossed his helmet. Their offensive line was an issue last year and will be again this year. Patriots question, is there a rookie in the past that saw playing time that you could compare Douglas to?
Like a wide receiver?
No, he just said rookie.
I mean, I would say Edelman.
But he didn't make that immediate impact.
No, but he had 40 catches.
Yeah. You could go defense with what's his name, the cornerback that came in, the undrafted.
Oh, they've had rookies that started. Mac Jones started his first game.
Yeah.
And we're just going to go by rookies playing right away.
Yeah.
I mean, just 2 years ago, Mac Jones started every game.
Ones that came in and kind of unheralded.
Oh, I don't know what he's looking for then. I don't know
Okay.
exactly.
You're going to have to be clarified.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Well, I think I do.
Well, who then?
I just mentioned him. What's his name?
No, you didn't. You said that cornerback.
The corner.
You didn't mention anybody.
Well, the undrafted cornerback that came in. This is like
Jonathan Jones.
No, but way before
Malcolm Butler.
No, even before him.
Randall Gay.
Randall Gay.
Yeah, he didn't have an immediate impact.
He played right away
at the end of the year when the other guys were hurt.
I thought he played more.
Nope.
I thought he was getting run early.
He had to play when everybody got hurt.
I have to check that. I think he got early run.
You're involved in one of the guys who got hurt that is often mocked and ridiculed at certain meetings. Sante Samuel.
Yeah.
Got hurt. That's why Randall Gay had to play more of a role. I think Edelman is he was a complimentary piece as a rookie, and I think he caught 40 balls as a rookie. Now, I'm not exactly saying that he was a big part of that team because I don't think he was.
Right.
And that was also that was one of the rare Patriots teams of the Brady era that just really wasn't all that
Welker
good.
was still there, and Edelman had some early injuries.
Welker tore his ACL in the last game against Houston, and he ended up, I think Edelman had 2 touchdown catches in the playoff loss to Baltimore.
Yeah.
But I want to say he caught 40 balls that year. That's
solid
production for a rookie.
Yep.
And I think Douglas could do that.
L from Wisconsin, I feel like every time anything extra happens, Jack Jones is involved.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure why he's still on the team. I feel like people have been cut in the past for a lot less. What's going on? Also, Fred, no coaching staff in the league thinks about media and cameras more than the Patriots. So.
All right, and I agree with that, and I also don't think it has much to do with the Patriots' record at the end of the day. But I do think that they spend a lot of time thinking about getting around media obligations and whatnot.
Sure.
Which is weird because it's do you think the other teams are really going through our reports and looking at okay, these are with first team, so we're going to use this in our scouting report? Do you think they do that?
Yes. Yeah.
So you're saying the Jets are going to look through all of our articles and be like, this is going to be the Patriots' first team?
I think there's someone.
It's 2 different things.
I think there's someone on
Fred's right. They will do it. The Patriots do think that the teams do it. it's completely like a waste of time.
Yeah. But I think on most teams, if not all, there's someone on the team, low level, that his job, look at all the clips from the other team.
Yes.
Yep. Garner any nugget that you can get, and then you bring it forward, and then we'll vet it out.
See, that's why it's perfect for the Patriots, because all the teams that the Patriots are playing are reading all the reports that we're providing, and they're all different.
Right.
Literally.
So you got to prepare
Especially
for everything.
From yesterday.
Right.
Oh my God.
Dwayne and Dina writes in. I don't know who that is, but anyway. Wife and I have been Patriots fans from the prairies of Saskatchewan since 2000. Do you all feel that it's getting harder to produce and recruit top-level or elite offensive line personnel, or are defensive players' skill levels in scheme planning making it more difficult for most levels of offensive line personnel to be as effective, or is it a combination? So, we talked about a lot of teams having trouble with the O-line. Why is that?
Yeah, I think that the big thing is the lack of preparation time. That's what a lot of people complain about, that they don't get enough time to really hit in camp, and they're not ready for the physicality at the start of the season. And I do wonder if sort of the style of offense that it's gone to the last 10 years, Freddie, do you think that has anything to do with it? Because there's so much spread in passing, there's not as much just straightforward drive blocking where you can be physical and dominate. If you're a running team, right, and let's say that you're Trent Brown, and you've been killing Von Miller all day in the running game, do you think Von Miller's going to be as effective rushing the passer as he normally would be?
No.
So I do think that might be part of it, too.
It could be. Yep. Could be. Be good to, on a Friday. But I don't think Bill would answer that question, because it has to do with what's going on now. If you were asking 10 years ago, then he might elaborate. But I'm sure he has his...
And I think he'd have a hard time. Like, if you said something like... Because I think it would be a very fair question to say, Bill, do you think that the state of offensive line play has deteriorated over the last, say, decade? I don't think he'd be as willing to say yes, because he would be openly criticizing his own players.
Right. Or even if is it harder to put together...
Is it harder to develop an offensive line?
Yeah.
I wonder what his answer would be.
We should ask Dante. I wonder if he has any insight. Let's see. Hugo writes in, first time writing, usual podcast listener. I've been listening since Newton preseason. That's not that long ago. Where you been? So how worried are you that John Jones isn't practicing? And do you think that Ty Montgomery is done with the team due to the acquisition of Zeke? Or is there space for both?
I think there would be space for both. I don't know. It's so hard to answer those questions without knowing the health.
Yeah.
Exactly what's wrong with Ty Montgomery. But we have not seen him. Second day of practice was when he got hurt. He hasn't practiced since.
I do think it's interesting that John Jones, did we see him get hurt, or he just didn't?
No, just all of a sudden on that Friday in stadium practice, he wasn't out there. I think this is going to be 8 in a row that he's missed.
And when didn't we just renew his contract or extend it?
Yeah.
Or something with it?
Was that this year?
Was that this year?
Was that this offseason?
I think
he
it was this
re-upped? I
offseason.
think, yes. I think he re-signed.
So it couldn't
this
be
offseason.
contract related.
No.
So,
No.
it's interesting.
Spee in Fresno says, Fred,
Fred.
What's the worst Patriots record you would accept in exchange for the Jets completely becoming unglued
That's
this
a
season?
great. That's a great question. This is what you're really going to see, Fred. What you're made of. Let's go. I want to hear this. It's a great question.
What's the worst? 8 and 9.
So if the Patriots were anything worse than 8 and 9,
Yeah, because that means we weren't good either.
It wouldn't draw you any success.
And then it kind of loses its luster.
That's a good answer.
If we're bad too, if we're like,
we're just as bad as
6
they
and
are.
11, then what good is it? I can't make fun of them as much because we stink too.
But if the Patriots are like 11 and something.
Oh God! I'll come out guns blazing.
I wouldn't even be able to contain Fred if the Patriots somehow won 10 or 11 games.
That might even
and the
make
Jets
up.
Imploded.
That might even make up for not winning a Super Bowl if we got there. At least the Jets stink.
Yeah, the 8's a little low. You got to go like at least a winning record.
Yeah.
9.
But I think we might be 8 and 9 anyway. That's the problem.
Well, that has nothing to do with what you think they're going to be. He's saying, what's the worst that you would accept
Well,
as long as you got to make fun of the Jets.
No, but like 8 and 9.
And I think you have a good answer.
8 and 9, we could be competitive in most games.
If you go much lower than 8, you have nothing to be making fun of anybody
Exactly.
about.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like, I don't really take any solace in going 7 and 10, 6 and 11, and but you guys were supposed to be good.
Right.
Like, that doesn't make me feel good.
I agree. No, we have to be up there for it to really, feel good. Johnny in Madtown, Wisconsin, I agree with Paul on numerous things today, most notably his opinion on Aaron Rodgers. I agree with Paul about as often as the Patriots offense scored in the red zone last year, but when I agree with him, it's like we're seeing things through the same eyes. Also, he's right about not wanting to fall back on hoping for a Jets implosion. Why can't Bill put together a winning team anymore? He's on the hot seat this year. Has to be after what happened since Brady left. And Tamara, you're awesome, says Johnny.
Thanks, Johnny.
I'm not falling back on hoping that. I'm not putting the hopes of the season on their implosion. I just hope that it happens.
Right. To me, I don't really hope that it happens. It would be a nice little cherry on the sundae if the Patriots were really good.
Yeah.
And you know what else happened? What made it even better? The Jets imploded. Like, I don't take really any solace in the Jets imploding. That's the only reason why the Patriots can be competitive with them.
For sure.
Like, that doesn't make me feel good. But if the Patriots are really good
and then they're bad,
and the Jets are really
icing on the
bad,
cake.
that's icing on the cake.
Yeah.
David, who called in before about what rookie, came on.
Okay.
And we want to clarify. He meant rookie wide receiver.
So I would say Edelman would be.
What about Deion? Well, Deion Branch was a second-round pick. So
yeah, and Deion Branch was good.
Yeah.
Like right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's an easy comparison because they play the same spot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up Edelman's stats.
Yeah.
I keep saying I think he had 40 catches.
Okay.
Let's see.
While you're looking at that, Josh in Turner's Falls, with Miami possibly losing their starting left tackle for a while, the Jets possibly jetting it up, and the Bills possibly regressing just a tad, it leaves me wondering if I'd rather go 3-3 or maybe better in the division in around 10-7 or better in the season, only to get found out in the playoffs and get embarrassed, or would it be better to have Miami, New York, and Buffalo at full strength and playing to potential to see the true nature of this team, even if it means a sub-500 record? I think I'd prefer the latter. I want them to win. I want them to be in the playoffs, but I'd love the next time the Patriots are in the playoffs that they have the team to belong there and maybe win one or two.
Yeah, I see your point. I mean, I would take a successful season regardless, but I would feel better about it if the other teams were healthy and you just found ways to beat them.
I'm not worried about next year and I'm worried about this year.
Right, but that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I definitely
he wants to develop the team this year.
Yeah, I would love to beat, an entire healthy division versus like getting lucky every single team.
2 years ago.
Yeah. That
when
their
you
best
faced
player
all the
was gone.
teams when their players were out and you won 10 games, but you really weren't a 10-win team.
Yeah, no.
Sam and Charlotte.
37 catches for Edelman his rookie year. So I thought it was around 40.
Samuel and Charlotte. I love to hear Paul and Fred argue, and I see Paul's point, but I agree with Fred that I'm cheering for a Jets crash. I cannot watch Hard Knocks and cheer for the Jets to succeed. I see the implosion coming. They were fighting each other on the same team in practice, and you could see Rodgers turning against his coaches after a drive didn't go well in joints. I'm cheering for the Patriots to beat the best of the teams, but I'm cheering against Rodgers and the Jets as well. Allen and Diggs' relationship, as well as Allen and Diggs' relationship to implode because it's entertaining. Yeah, there is an entertainment factor.
You
to
do
all
you.
this.
So do you
the
think,
drama.
Do you think there's any chance that they're just like acting? Like
No.
all this drama on the field? Like
with the
terms
Jets?
Of, yeah.
I do think there's a little bit of mugging for the camera.
Rodgers is upset with the situation on the line. He keeps saying he's okay with it, and then he says, yet, or not like he's – I think Aaron Rodgers is the prototypical guy, like, don't blame me. It's them. And that's why I think he has not won as much as he should. Some of his comments about the offensive line, he says all the right thing, and then he has like a phrase at the end. It's not my job to get involved in that yet. It's not really your job ever to get involved in that, but he will.
But he will.
But he will. I just I don't really take any solace in that if I end up being better than a team because they imploded. Like I don't what if you would that to me is the same thing as
You're no fun. You're no fun.
No. If the Patriots are 11-6, now I take solace in them imploding.
Okay.
Because you're not 11-6 because the Jets imploded.
Yeah.
You're 11-6 because you're a lot better than people think.
Yeah.
Do you understand what the difference is?
Yeah.
I want my team to be good.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's secondary what happens to the other teams.
I know, but
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not telling you it wouldn't be great theater to watch Aaron Rodgers fall on his face.
Of course I want, first of all, the Patriots to be good, but
But it doesn't really provide me any entertainment if the Patriots aren't good.
Right.
Whereas you will find that great because you hate the Jets so much. Right?
It'd be fun.
But is that not accurate? I'm not mischaracterizing
but
that.
it takes, like I said, it takes the luster off. It tarnishes the joy if your own team isn't good.
Mm-hmm.
You can't enjoy it
does.
as much because, what are you?
Now,
guys?
don't get me wrong. If the Patriots aren't very good and they don't make the playoffs, and the Jets end up being really good and they make the playoffs, I will be watching their first round playoff game and rooting with everything that I have for the other team. I'm not going to, I'm not being objective. I know people think that I'm trying to be objective. No, I'm not. I'm not objective. I would root against I would root against the Jets, against whoever they were playing in the playoffs, because I don't like him.
Let's see. Dave writes in, as much as I'd like to see the Jets implode, I take more pleasure in Miami being the bottom of the division. Here's my two-part question.
Two
One,
parts.
you keep saying that Cunningham played great against scrub backups. Didn't Zappy face the same scrub team and look uninspiring?
No.
No, he was in
Zappy played against the starters.
Right.
But that's also doesn't have anything to do with why I'm not convinced about Cunningham.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced about Cunningham because I haven't seen him take any reps and really run an offense.
Right.
He takes the snap and runs,
He
or
gets,
he does an RPO and hands the ball off.
Yeah.
He doesn't throw.
He's getting leftover reps, and two, until I see him put on that red non-contact jersey, it's hard to take it seriously. It's not enough. It's not the same reps as Zappy and McSorley and Mac, obviously. And also, I feel like I don't even know if you would call it Miami imploding, because it's if Tua doesn't stay healthy, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
He had a lot of concussion issues among other things, so it's
yeah.
the chances of that happening again are very likely, unfortunately. And so I feel like if any of the two, Miami probably.
Yeah. His second point is listening to Unfiltered, which is a great show, Hooked on Pats, and PNN. What's PNN? Patriots something? All seem to be saying the same thing. We look bad on the O-line, wide receiver, quarterback, secondary. Last year was too painful to repeat. How worried should we be? And side note, I'm still upset that Belichick didn't take Zay Flowers when we had the chance and desperately needed a wide receiver. By the way, there's a lot of video of him breaking ankles in practice.
He looks great.
That could be one that got away.
I saw some of that video of him, and I thought back to that email that we got on Tuesday about him, which I thought was a really good email. How much better would you feel if this was Zay Flowers in the front? Because Zay Flowers is tiny too.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah.
And I think he's right. I think part of the reason why you're not, for me anyway, speaking for myself, I'm not completely embracing the idea of Demario Douglas is that he's a 6th round pick out of Liberty as opposed to a 1st round pick. But really, they're very similar kind of, bodies and skill sets. I mean, Zay Flowers can't be much more than 5'8", 180, 185.
Yeah, he's small.
And that's what Douglas is.
Alex
I think
says,
Douglas said he was 182 the other day. He admitted to, even though he's 195 on the roster or something like that.
On the rookie wide receiver question, Alex says, why is everyone forgetting Malcolm Mitchell? Rookie wide receiver won a title with Brady.
Yeah, I think we're looking for more than that.
Okay.
I would be anyway. I think he was a complimentary piece. I don't know, as a rookie, I suppose as a rookie the production could be the same, but I think Malcolm Mitchell, I don't know. Was he that impactful? Do you remember? I mean, he had a couple of big catches in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, he probably had 40 catches that year, 45 catches.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a similar one.
And I think he could have been good if he hadn't gotten hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
You're probably right. That's probably another good email that I am overlooking Malcolm Mitchell about. That's probably another good one.
Let's get back to the phones. Gunnar is in Maryland. What's up, Gunnar?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Okay.
So the question I have is, I know Malik Cunningham is awesome and all that stuff, but I remember Paul having this discussion before in a previous show, and he talking about Drew Brees and Taysom Hill, and I think Paul, I think you characterized it this way, like, okay, Drew Brees is your quarterback, so why would you take him out of the game and put somebody else in who is not as good as Drew Brees? And so
It used to drive me crazy watching the Saints.
But why would you if Mac Jones is your quarterback and he's our best quarterback and he's the starter and it's his job to lose, why would you take him out of the game and give snaps to somebody else who's obviously not good enough to win the starting job?
Yeah.
Well, okay, go ahead, Paul.
Well, I just would say he's absolutely characterized my thoughts perfectly. He didn't put words in my mouth like so many others do. That's exactly how I feel. Now, to me, the big difference is I felt that way because Drew Brees was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, I could tell you that I'd be disappointed if Bill O'Brien feels like he needs to use Malik Cunningham, because that means to me that Mac Jones isn't the guy. Like, he isn't the no questions asked guy. I always thought it was kind of short-sighted on Sean Payton's part to do that with Taysom Hill. Now, the Patriots might need to do that because they can't generate the same amount of offense.
Yeah.
And that would be disappointing for Mac Jones, but to me, whatever you got to do to move the ball and score points, you got to do.
Yeah, and I agree, but the reason why I would do it, whether it's Drew Brees or Mac Jones, is I see something specific in this game that I can exploit if I put, in, even if it's just for a series.
Yeah, I would argue that with a guy like Drew Brees or Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, I like the things I'm exploiting with them better than.
Right. No, if they're doing fine, I'm not going to take them out. But if I'm, how some of these games get stuck in the mud a little bit sometimes, and I just want to add a little, a jolt to the offense, and I think I can exploit some things that I'm seeing. Then I would do it, Then I would do it. Put him in there.
Well, I think if you do that, it just shows that there's a deficiency in your quarterback.
I agree.
Well, there's a deficiency in your offense. And in my case, on that given day.
Well, with a great quarterback on that given day, yeah. But yeah. I would agree with the premise that if you have to do that, then you have probably limitations offensively.
Right.
Well, and I'm a fan, so I don't have to make any sense, or I just go with my heart. But I was so Paul loved this because Drew Bledsoe was my guy too. I love that guy, and I was clamoring for Michael Bishop back in the day when Drew was struggling a little bit. So, I'm just
until that Monday night game in week 2 of 2000 when Bishop came in the game and did not do anything.
Yeah.
Do you think
exactly.
I was going to say,
I hated that. Not surprisingly.
Do you think that's why, throwing Marcus Jones in, that wrinkle, was that, because the offense wasn't able to do what it's going to do?
Yeah. On that day, I remember that. I mean, Patriots weren't doing much, and then he came in and did something.
For who?
Marcus Jones that day.
Oh, yeah, but that's different than taking your quarterback.
But here's where I go back to. Remember that game against Miami here, the Wildcat game?
Yes.
Now Miami's offense wasn't that great, but they brought in the Wildcat package, and the Patriots had no answer for it.
Right.
And the Miami won that game.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But Miami had no offense.
Well, that's what I'm. Yeah. But in this, Mac Jones isn't,
like you don't see the difference between like Sean Payton and the Saints at their heyday had one of the
I
highest scoring
absolutely.
offenses.
But
like you just took away opportunities for them to score more.
But Gunnar brought up Mac Jones, and I can absolutely see
with Mac Jones, it's different.
Right, I can absolutely see games this season. I hope there aren't any, or if there are few, that the Patriots are struggling, and maybe just a different style might work.
Yeah. I would agree with you.
Or
for the
if
Patriots.
you knew that, an opponent's defense really struggled with this type of quarterback, then you could plan ahead to use Cunningham.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely worked that day against Miami. I remember it was so frustrating. It's like, just stop the guy. And the Patriots could not stop, their Wildcat package. It was so frustrating.
Right. No, I remember the day vividly, but that was also two of the worst offensive games. That was week 3 that year. It was 2008. I remember it vividly.
Oh, sure.
And Chad Pennington was lousy in the first 2 games. They couldn't do anything offensively. So that was totally out of desperation.
I definitely wouldn't want to use like that as a crutch the entire season. Like, okay, we're not moving the ball the whole first half. Let's just use Cunningham. It's like you don't want to like have it be your crutch.
Right.
Now, if it's like your game plan, you know that opponent's defense cannot stop this type of offense. Sure, throw it in there, let it be a wrinkle. But as a crutch, no.
I am fascinated to see how Bill thinks about it, though. See, you know, we'll fast forward two weeks or so, 2.5, 3 weeks, find out where Cunningham fits on the roster.
All right, Paul's Food's here, so we're going to take a break. We're going to have the show within a show. Have we given a name to this show within a show yet? Oh, I thought...
Calling it Matisse's Hot Takes.
Matisse's Hot Takes. All right, so we're going to do that, and then we'll be right back after Matisse's Hot Takes.
Get in on the action with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the New England Patriots. New customers can download the DraftKings app now and play free for millions in prizes using code PATS. That's code PATS, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
All right, guys. Matisse Bauman here. We're trying something a little new. Pretty much, we're going to go over some unpopular hot takes. And, that's just now. As we said, this is learning. This is new for us, new for the people listening. If there's something hot happening on Twitter, we'll break it down. Something in the NFL that the guys on Unfiltered didn't talk about, we'll talk about it too, whatever we want. So, once again, I'm Matisse Bauman. I'm here with Dylan Citarella and Faith Worrell. And let's just run through some hot takes and see what happens.
Let's do it.
All right, ready for this? We'll start with the basic one. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Technically, it's meat in between 2 pieces of bread, so.
I think I agree with that. Meat in between. But so does that make a burger a sandwich too?
Oh,
yeah,
1,000%.
100%.
Okay.
I say no. A glizzy's a glizzy. That's a separate thing for me. But all right. So you got.
What do you classify it as? It's just
its own
completely.
It's its own entity. It's its own entity.
All right.
That work?
Yeah.
So all the sandwiches in the world, and then there's just a hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that works for me. I don't know if you guys disagree. All right, run through that one. All right, I've never heard this one before, so let me know what you think. Ravioli is a wet Pop-Tart.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, when you think about it, it's like it's like the filling encased in something, but
then also you can toast ravioli.
You can toast ravioli.
Yeah.
I guess you
can
toast
fry
anything,
it. Yeah.
really.
You ever had toasted ravioli?
Yeah.
Like fried. It's like fried.
Yeah.
It's bomb.
So it's Pop-Tart.
I don't know if I consider it a Pop-Tart. That means anything inside of something could be a Pop-Tart.
Calzone.
Calzone is not a Pop-Tart.
Is that a pizza Pop-Tart?
No. I think I'm out on this one.
As an
I don't
Italian,
know if I
I'm
like
offended.
All right. Here we go. Do you guys like The Office?
Yes.
Kind of.
I think it stinks.
Ugh.
See, I've only seen like 4 episodes total, so and I didn't hate them, but they're the only ones.
Why do you think
I've
it
seen.
stinks? What's wrong with it?
It's just not for me. It's the dry humor. Like, listen, there are a couple clips I like. Like, I think the Asian gym thing is hilarious.
Yeah.
The fire drill, I've seen that clip. That's funny, but the rest just doesn't.
Have you watched the whole thing?
No, because it's horrible.
You have to give it a shot.
I'm at least saying I've only seen a few episodes. I need to give it a shot.
I've watched it many times all the way through, and I would do it again. I think it's hilarious.
Whoa.
I've thought about getting Peacock specifically
just
for
The
it.
Office?
Yeah.
No, it's not worth it.
No, I think it is. 100%.
No, it's
probably my favorite show of all time.
Oh, sorry.
Kind of feel like Switzerland over here.
New Girl, better.
New Girl is the best show on the planet.
That's what everyone rants and raves about New Girl. I've never seen it.
Better.
I like Parks and Rec. I don't think it's better than The Office.
All right. Well, Office stinks in my point of view. But here we go. This one, I've never heard this take before. I was pretty upset by it. I have Chinese food is horrible.
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
That's wild, right?
That's
the worst
take.
The worst take.
Crab
What do you
rangoons
eat on
are up
Christmas
there
Eve?
all time.
Thank you.
Right? Or any other time of the year, but
I don't want to tick off Matt Morrell here. We have no. This take. We have Star Wars is horrible.
So.
Oh,
Faith's got an opinion.
I love Marvel. I love Marvel so much, and I've tried to watch Star Wars because I love Marvel, and I figured I would like the same thing. And every time I try to watch it, I fall asleep.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Dylan?
I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I don't watch a ton of movies, so like I'm not into the Marvel thing. I never really got into Star Wars when I was younger. I don't know, it's like the fantasy aspect, I think, of it. It's like I don't know, like a different world. I can't really
Yeah.
latch myself onto that.
I think if you don't like Star Wars, you just got to grow up and have a child.
Hey,
It just
you
means
know
you
what?
haven't
Maybe I
had a
should
child.
You don't like The Office.
It just means you didn't have a childhood. That's my thing.
I did.
I did
just
other
was into,
things
like-
besides watch Star Wars when I was a child.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair.
I played outside.
Yeah, but like Star Wars.
I
is
touched
Star
some
Wars.
grass.
Yeah, Star Wars is Star Wars. Like, come on, we can't mess with
It is. It's like it's
a
definitely
classic.
generational.
We got some guys upstairs that don't like it at all. So
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far
I'm
to be
glad
like,
you guys
oh, I
are
hate
into
it. Yeah.
I just haven't every time I try to watch it, I end up falling asleep. Now, Star Wars Land in Disney World, amazing.
Have you
I'll
done?
go there a million
Have you
times.
done the TV shows, Mando?
No.
I watched some of Mando because a lot of my friends are like big into it, so I watched with them, and I didn't think it was that bad, but I don't know. It's like for me, it was like its own separate series, and I hadn't seen any of the other
But
Star
you
Wars.
guys don't hate it though.
I don't hate
No,
it.
okay.
No.
I just
All right.
I can
haven't
see.
really seen
I see why people like it.
Okay. All right. I respect that.
Yeah.
This one's wild. I like actually.
Oh, God.
LinkedIn is better. LinkedIn is better for dating than Tinder.
You know what?
If
I could see it. I've never heard that, and I don't know. I could see it because you're like connecting with all these new people.
seek help if you're
It's
DMing
kind
people on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
agree with that.
Okay.
It's like trying to look at someone's resume versus like getting to know somebody
Oh,
else.
that's-
Like I don't need to know like what job you had in high school. Like at the first I'd rather get to know you versus like.
But if you
here's-
look at their resume and that you have like similar interests, you guys did similar things, maybe you'd like
Yeah,
reach
but-
out and be like, hey, like.
I know all these profiles you could technically lie on, but like how many LinkedIn's are like 100% accurate?
Isn't Tinder kind of just like networking in a way?
I mean,
you meet.
could flip it?
You like
I
match
guess.
with someone, you go meet with them.
That's
and
how
you're
the job interview works. Like I met you on Tinder.
If you're using your professional LinkedIn account to slide into people's DMs, please seek help.
That's a high. Yeah.
I do agree with that.
All right, what else we got? I'm going through these. You guys, I literally have 70 fun, controversial hot
Whoa.
takes. And all right, Adidas is the best sports brand.
Absolutely not.
All right.
Nike.
Yep, I'm Nike.
I'd probably, yeah.
Did you see?
They're
Air?
up there.
Did you
top
see
3.
Air?
I did.
I
yes.
have not seen that.
So Adidas used to run the game, but now I think it's completely flipped.
Oh, for sure.
For example, I think when the NFL took over, it was
Yeah.
taken over by Nike. It completely changed it.
Yeah. I mean, I just think Nike has so much like streetwear that you can also have. Like, I feel like when you wear Adidas, it's just like, okay, that's Adidas. Like, you just see the 3 stripes every time. But like with Nike, like they have more graphic tees and just like.
Yeah, I
things
feel
that
like
are-
there's a lot more variety from Nike. Where Adidas, when I think of Adidas, I think mainly soccer. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Because all like soccer jerseys are Adidas brand.
I think
where
Matisse.
Nike has a lot
Yeah,
of them.
see, my thing is I saw a meme a couple years ago. It just showed 4 basic shoes, and it had each logo on the same shoe, and the
Hmm.
Nike one was hands down the best. And it's
Yeah.
just crazy how like your brain is used to Nike, like Nike #1. Then I'd go Adidas.
And like the Dunks and Jordans, like all the different shoes you can have, like
Yeah.
they're amazing.
all right. Only old people use Facebook.
Mainly old people use Facebook.
Is that even a hot take?
Old people and Southern people.
Okay.
Argue. Like
Yeah,
all
and
my
you know,
friends back home were into
Faith
Facebook.
is from South Carolina, for those that don't know. So,
Yes.
all right. See, it's funny because when I was growing up, Facebook was coming up, and that was like the hot
Coming
thing
up.
to use.
I remember, yeah, when I was growing up,
Yeah.
it was like weird if you had a Facebook and you weren't in high school yet.
Okay.
Like,
True.
I remember like my friend's sister was just like, you have to stay on MySpace until you're in high school.
See, give me like, it's just weird. I use Facebook now as a birthday reminder for people's
Oh, for
birthdays
sure.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But like, if I go on there, it's a war zone. I don't
It's
even
usually
know.
who from high school is engaged, who from high school is pregnant. That's what you're usually seeing, I feel like, on Facebook.
All right, here we got another one. Everyone should solo travel at least once in their life.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
Have you guys done it before? And I'm
No.
not counting. I'm not counting like going to New York on your own, which also that's weird too. But
I have not, but I want to.
I've done it once,
I have also done it once.
and it's
Where did you go?
Ghana.
Okay, that's
Whoa.
crazy.
Yeah.
That
By
is
yourself?
crazy.
Yeah, it was like a coaching thing, but I went not knowing anybody. So I guess does that count? I didn't like solo travel the country.
I feel like solo travel is like
You go with
everything
no
is just like you. Whatever you want to do, and it's
Yeah,
just
you don't even have to have a
involved.
plan. That's
just
the thing.
go.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
hop on a plane.
Just pick your destination and yeah.
I don't think I've done that.
I feel like going to like Montana or Wyoming or something would be fun alone.
Just fly fishing.
Well,
That's all I know
Yeah.
about Montana.
Like, a lot
I
of
meant more like
mountains.
hiking, but I guess that's
You
probably
go
Same
snowboarding
thing.
out there.
Same thing.
Yeah.
All right, Faith, you can answer this. The mullet is
Oh.
actually a good hairstyle.
I love the mullets.
Okay.
Personally, I think between like Morgan Wallen, I actually know some women that have mullets that I think it's a good hairstyle.
David Andrews.
David Andrews,
Yeah,
of course.
You know what? Yeah. Didn't somebody else on the team have a mullet?
Didn't Cole Strange copy
Yeah.
David Andrews?
Yeah. I respect it.
My brother saw David Andrews at like Family Day, and he's like, I need my hair like that. He's really trying to grow it out.
What?
But he's like a country dude, so.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're also asking the one from South Carolina, so I'm a big mullet fan.
Dylan, you're going to hate me for this one. Beyonce's music is overrated. Faith went to the Beyonce concert, so.
I don't think she's overrated because I think she's iconic, but I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan as I am. Maybe.
I think she's a great artist, and she has a phenomenal voice. For
Super
sure.
talented.
Definitely.
Yes.
I don't know if the whole like cult following thing is necessary.
Fair.
I think
same with Taylor Swift. I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan, and it's like, okay.
Taylor Swift's like it's like
who's
another
better
level.
between those two?
I'm biased. I feel like I grew up listening to Taylor Swift. I didn't grow up listening to Beyonce.
I think
to be
Beyonce's
honest.
better out of the two.
Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. So that was the first edition of this. Once again, let us know what you think. You can write into the Unfiltered mailbox if you have something you want us to discuss. I will be hosting this, and we'll have rotating guests. So this was the first
revolving
thing.
door.
Exactly.
I don't think you liked us, Dylan.
Yeah. No. You guys will be back on. But thank you, Faith. Thank you, Dylan. And let's get back to Patriots Unfiltered.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
And now, great moments in history.
I miss Giardi's smell. That's one of the things I
What?
miss about 2020.
Wow. Wait, yeah.
Giardi smells really good. Paul, back me up on this.
What are you, a dog?
He smells wonderful.
You go around sniffing people?
Thank you, Paul.
Soundbite,
He
Matt.
smells like a fresh summer day.
Tomorrow's show opening unfolding right before our eyes here.
He smells great. I miss it.
Okay.
It is what it is.
You know?
What was his cologne of choice? Do you know? You ever
I
ask?
don't know.
Brute
I think
by
he
I
smells
don't-
so
I don't
good.
think it's
He's like
necessarily cologne. It's like product.
he's just like if I told you I'd have
Yeah.
to kill you because everyone knows how good he smells.
Yeah.
I don't miss Giardi as much as I miss the smell of Giardi.
Oh, to Giardi.
Yeah, we could bottle that. Giardi.
That's another great moment from
All right, welcome the Patriots back to Patriots Unfiltered. 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket Hotline. Web radio at patriots.com was the email address. So you heard the first edition of Matisse's Hot Takes, and they talked about movies. I thought they were going to talk about Patriots, but anyway, it's something in development. Eventually.
Here's some of those hot takes. They're crazy.
They'll be giving away things eventually, so that'll be a reason to listen, other than, of course, the hot takes.
So I do have a question.
Yep.
Matt, were you actually in your studio producing this as it
Yes.
was going on? And you stayed in there while that talk was going on?
No, I got on the air and said that's offensive as an Italian.
Okay. Because I can't believe you allowed the Marvel and Star Wars talk.
Gave that a pass. It was the comparing ravioli to Pop-Tarts.
Well, that's just dumb.
Yeah.
There's nothing even.
Yeah.
They're two completely different foods. There's nothing. They have nothing in common.
Right. Except it's something
They both have
wrapped
something
around,
inside it.
Yeah, wrapped around something inside, and closed.
I guess maybe if you have a dessert ravioli. They do make those.
But I
fancy
mean,
schmancy
with
places.
pasta?
Yeah, they'll make it. They'll
So-
stuff it with like an apple cinnamon thing.
A ravioli with pasta and an apple in it? I'd never.
Or
heard
like
of that.
apple cinnamon stuffing, almost like apple pie. It's a dessert ravioli.
Huh. Never seen that before.
I still think
I've never heard of it.
I still think the craziest hot take that I've heard in this building is that macaroni and cheese is overrated, and that is
This offends you.
Who said that?
Judon
Oh,
at the podium.
That's crazy.
Like
That's crazy.
macaroni and cheese is not.
I don't love mac and
overrated.
cheese.
It's
Now,
so good.
now listen. There's some mac and cheese are better than others. Obviously, but mac and cheese overall, the concept of it, not overrated.
I think stovetop macaroni and cheese can be overrated, but oven baked.
Oh yeah.
They're like incomparable. So if we're talking about like Velveeta mac and cheese, sure. Like,
yeah,
that's just cheese.
Maybe
noodles.
Judon's never been exposed to really good mac and cheese. You know?
Maybe.
It could be. All right, web radio at patriots.com. 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket hotline. Eldred's in North Carolina. What's up, Eldred? Uh-oh.
Hey, tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
Fred, how y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, that tape to beast him, Beyonce ain't fake. She one of the richest women, and her and her husband one of the richest couple, and all the awards she got is not underrated. None in the least.
Okay.
But it was funny though. I liked it.
All right, good, good.
But my question is, okay, if Jones is out, and the secondary is struggling like we said against the Packers, and I know y'all covered it earlier, what do you think Bill's next move would be?
Say that again, Eldred. Everybody's on
I'm
their
about
phone.
to say that I'm driving. Okay. Okay. If Jones is out for a while and the secondary is struggling, even though you get a rush or whatever, and what do you think Bill's next move would be if Jones don't come back or?
If Jones is out hurt?
Yeah, I think Zappy. I think Zappy's the
I ain't
next
talking about
one.
Mac Jones. I'm talking about Jonathan Jones. The
Oh,
corner.
Jonathan
Corner.
Jones. Oh.
Jonathan Jones. Yeah, the corner. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm talking about the corners. They were saying the secondary.
If Jack Jones
struggle
and
a
Jonathan
little
Jones are out, what would the next move be? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to just pick up a guy that can
I mean,
play.
you have to put Miles Bryant back at cornerback. You know, you'd have to move him over probably and fill in, and you know, maybe you bring somebody off, out from the street. But yeah, you're in trouble. I mean, you're hoping Christian Gonzalez is playing well, but wherever you put Marcus Jones, it's going to be tough on him with the two of them out. And yeah, I mean, you're in some trouble there.
You feel like you would have to.
Yeah,
move
I like
Mills.
Gonzalez, but I already
Jalen
figured he's
Mills.
going to struggle a little bit because it's his first year.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to struggle a bit. So
Yeah.
I give him about the 8th, 9th game to really pick it up a little bit. Then next year be even better.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all have a good one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, so we'll drop Eldred in. On line 2 is Mike Dussault, live from joint practices in Green Bay. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, guys. Good to talk to you.
Hi.
We got a lot of questions.
Sounds like it's a lot better today than yesterday, Deuce.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot better. Mac Jones just capped off like the 2-minute drive with like a 40-yard bomb to Devontae Parker that just, set the whole sideline into hysterics. It was a pretty cool moment. I was mostly with the defense earlier, but Evan told me that the offense had a really great day. A lot of touchdowns, some nice throws by Mac, but that last one was a beauty. I mean, we've been all day. Where's the big plays? Where's the big plays? It was a really nice pass by Mac and a nice way to end the practice. They're still going right now, but I figured I'd jump away just to kind of get you guys the big bullet points.
And from what you
overall.
could tell, was that against Green Bay's front defense, top defense?
Yeah, I was going
so
to
that
ask.
was
that
they
against
go right into
Alexander?
team period. So that was basically 2-minute drill, and they put up on the clock 28-21 and got the drive 2 minutes to score. So good day for the offense. I did watch that period. Ramondre had a nice catch, but yeah, Parker that bomb to Parker was just a beauty. I mean, he just did right down the sideline, and
Nice.
just a great catch.
How's everyone's favorite rookie receiver, Pop Douglas, doing today?
Yeah, from what I heard, and then again, I was with the D, but he had a bunch of catches in the early periods as well. So he was definitely active. I did hear that Tyquan Thornton left. Didn't see what happened to him. A lot of fights, though. No, I wouldn't say fights, but a lot of skirmishes.
No,
right
it
off
sounds
the
like
bat.
there's a lot of fights on X.
Yeah, there
they're
were,
saying it.
I wrote them down as scuffles, but I think that I had 4 scuffles in
That's
the
because
first.
you're so
like,
nice.
Well,
plays.
it's not a fight unless somebody got thrown out.
Well, Anthony Jennings did get thrown out.
Oh.
And that was one I did see. They were doing special teams, and one of the Packers players just punched Keon White in the face, which God bless him. I mean, the guy balls of steel on that one. But then Jennings came running over and just laid the guy out from behind. Even Bill was like, he punched him in the face. So
I like it.
Definitely some
Good for
hot
Jennings.
tempers today.
I think that's
defend your teammate.
I totally agree.
You
I know people again get all upset and oh my God, there's fighting in a football game. Like I think that stuff is good.
That's good, especially you punch one of your rookies in the face. You come out as a veteran and you defend your rookie. I like that.
Deuce, I have a question.
Go.
I was going to say, I have a question on the secondary. Since you said you're watching primarily the defense, with John Jones not there again, what are they looking like?
Well, yesterday was rough. I mean, I'm sure you guys probably, read a little bit. A couple blown coverages by Christian Gonzalez. I got to say, Christian Watson is outstanding. I mean, he's just big and fast, and not Devontae Adams, but
one of my
guys.
Good.
But today was better. He did give up. They did give up one touchdown. I wouldn't put it specifically on Gonzalez. Is kind of where Watson kind of came out of a bunch set in a red zone and just kind of posted up. I think it was like Kyle Duggar. But otherwise, he's been competitive. He had a real nice pass defense downfield against Dontavian Wicks, I believe it was who it was. So better day for Gonzalez for sure. Marcus Jones had an interception. It was kind of deflected ball. He got picked on a little bit, though. I think Dobbs beat him once off the line pretty cleanly and walked in. So Green Bay did make their share of plays today, but overall I think it was definitely a Patriots defense day. And the weird thing was not because of the pressure, though, and like to your question, like a lot of good coverage, and it was good to see. Impressed by Jack Jones. He was really in the vicinity. A lot of pass breakups. I had him down for 2. Another one, he was right there. Kind of just seemed like.
So that's a good bounce back for him too, then, huh?
Yeah, a good day for him. I was kind of waiting for him to maybe pop off too, but he kept his calm, and I thought he had a nice day. I circled him a few times. But overall, good day. The only other kind of bummer thing, Keon White had a limp off the field. He didn't leave. He was just kind of sitting off to the side. Looked like maybe a knee issue for him.
Yeah,
but he was kind of walking around. Didn't seem like he was limping. So he seems like he might be, avoided a major injury, but, you never know.
So yesterday we heard that the Patriots front seven had a good day. Did that continue today?
Well, that's the weird thing, Fred. It wasn't like Judon and Wise and all these guys in the backfield. It was more about coverage, and there were a couple times where Jordan Love had nothing open and had to tuck it, and I think he's kind of sporadic. He certainly had some really nice balls throughout the couple days, but he also just has some you can't miss those kind of throws too. So he was a little bit up and down. There was particularly one, I'm sure. Like the defense's portion of that 2-minute drill that the Patriots finished off with the touchdown to Parker. The Patriots also got off the field on third down and prevented the score and part of that drill. But there were a couple plays where one up the seam probably should have been completed. It started all of a sudden raining for 5 minutes, just pouring rain for 5 minutes and then it stopped. But it looked like the Packers, especially, that happened kind of when they were on offense, and they struggled with some of just balls going through their hands. It looked like it was slick. So I think there's a little bit of a caveat to the defensive performance there at the end. But overall, they really did have a good day.
Okay, that sounds good. And
nice bounce back.
Yeah,
because it sounded like Green Bay had the edge yesterday, and it sounds like the Patriots had the edge today. So I think that probably both teams leave that feeling good.
Yep.
There was some things that were good, and there's some things that need working on.
I mean, I don't want to make too much of the last play, Mac, but it's just what this team needs right now, and you just could feel how excited everybody was by that play, and especially where, after the fights and stuff, everybody was kind of jawing at each other, and there was certainly a heightened tension to practice today that didn't really seem to exist yesterday. So, just a nice way to kind of cap it off. I know they're probably going through the 2s and 3s right now. But overall, it's been a solid day for on both sides of the ball.
So, real quick, Mike, I know Tamara and Fred are looking to get in too, but is this going to extend the consecutive fights at joint practices that were all the other team's fault streak, according to the Patriots media?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yesterday, I heard stories about Jack Jones chasing around some rookie backup quarterback and yelling at him after he gave up a bomb.
That sounds.
That checks out.
I got to be honest though, I can't tell who initiated them. I mean, it's all of a sudden the whistles start, everybody kind of goes in the middle. We're trying to look in between guys on the sideline. I would just say the only one I knew for sure.
Yeah, that one sounds pretty obvious.
Packers.
Yeah,
the Packers
that
guy that punched
obvious.
Keon White. That sounds pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the other
but
teams are
otherwise,
Bush League.
It was, middle of the line. It's Barmore, Peppers. Those
Peppers
were the
was
guys
involved
that
in a
were kind
fight.
of-
Come on.
He was chirping them the whole practice. I mean, Peppers, I know I'm a Peppers guy. Maybe I would have maybe liked a little bit toned down, but the whole day today, I mean, their third stringers were in, and the Patriots defense just dominated in the third string refs for whatever it's worth, not much. But every time Peppers would be like, Zach, he'd just be screaming at him. So, so he's funny. I mean, he's cracking me up for bringing the energy. But overall, yeah, no, Barmore was definitely in the midst of it, and I could tell early on with some of the scrums that Jennings was like ready to go. Like the second he was on the sideline and he saw them, starting to go at it in the middle of the field, he was like itching to go. You could tell they had to hold him back. But overall, I think it's just like you said, Paul. It's fighting football a little bit. Here that second day, a little bad blood, and they got over it, and I think they got some productive work in after they got through those initial scrums.
Yeah, within reason, I like that.
How are the facilities?
Well, I mean, it's been pretty cool just seeing that. I walked over to Lambeau, didn't do the tour or anything, but they're nice. They got two fields that are separated by a really big, nice indoor facility. So, good crowd. A number of Patriots fans that have come out and waving flags and all that kind of stuff. So that was cool to see. But really nice seating. I mean, they were able to really accommodate a lot of fans here. And I think one of the coolest things was yesterday. So the two teams are on the opposite field, so you don't even really realize that the Packers are here, and we're on the backside right near where Lambeau is. And so we're warming up. It's like usual drills. There wasn't really any music yesterday, and like, okay. And they're like, all right, let's go to the other side. And so everybody just starts to walk over. And, I mean, we literally walk onto the other field. The Packers, I mean, it's packed with fans, and the Packers are just out there with their two units on the two different fields, just waiting with their 11 guys on defense, like, okay, here we go. Like, and you just walk right over, right into it, and there you go. So it was kind of cool, like, just to see all of a sudden the energy just goes through the roof.
That is kind of cool.
I texted Morrell. They play music the whole time.
It's like going down the block to play the other kids.
Right? It's exactly what it was. Like, they're just sitting there waiting on the field, like 11 guys sitting like, come on. So that was kind of cool.
How about everybody behaving themselves? Are we
Okay, you can ask him that offline.
What?
No, I would hint at something if there was anything, but no, it's been a low key trip. Everything's been
so is that Wild Man Rundy you gotta watch.
Okay, Deuce, back to more important questions.
What's more important?
Yeah,
football. I mean, if you were gonna ask anything off the field, you could ask him, has he tried any good cheese? Like, but you're asking if everyone's behaving?
Yeah, that's all.
Oh my God,
he's the boss man.
Face palm. Yeah. Deuce, any special teams work?
I tend to, like, usually when the special teams would happen, because me and Evan would be at opposite ends. I mean, they have, like, it's not two fields lined up with each other, but it's probably like 1 2/3 the field. So Evan was down with the offense, I was down with the defense. So it's like as soon as those periods ended, they're like, okay, punt. I just go running down to Evan and be like, I have no idea what's going on offense. Like, fill me in what's going on. But my quick observations as I was kind of doing that was yesterday it looked like Behringer bossed a couple of them that just didn't look good. Today looked a little bit better, but really windy and gusty here today, so that affected it. But Devin, I'm sure they're probably doing field goals now, so I'm missing those. But overall, kind of tough to tell from where I was.
All right, well, I'll be there tomorrow, so I expect a King's welcome.
Okay, I have one more. I have one more quick one before we let you go, Deuce.
Ball in the back.
Attendance-wise, Pierre Strong hasn't been practicing, correct?
Correct.
Is he there?
Yeah,
do you know?
No, I haven't. No, we haven't seen him. He wasn't here yesterday. Wasn't here today.
Okay, I have a developing take on Pierre Strong. I'll fill you in when you get back.
All right, I look forward to that. Connor McDermott though was one who left practice yesterday and was not here today. So. I also saw, I think Jake Andrews left from the offensive end of the field. So, few injuries. Keon White one will definitely be one to monitor, although I feel like just shut him down, get him ready for the regular season.
So, I have one final question. Like, from the reports yesterday, it depending on who you read, different things happen. Barring yourself and Evan, if you read all the other people, who was the most accurate from what they wrote, what happened yesterday?
Well, I mean, I was taken back by some of the stats people because I just have no idea, given this setup, how anyone could possibly track the stats here. But I kind of liked what Bedard did at the top of his write-up, where he was just like, and this is what he said. He's like, I don't know. Some of the big plays might have been sacks. some of the plays that were ruled out of bounds looked in bounds. There was one big play that I saw that the Packers had that I clearly saw the ref ruling incomplete, and the Packers celebrated like they just won the Super Bowl. So I just think any report you're getting out of this needs to be taken, with definitely a grain of salt, even from us.
Especially yours.
Yeah, especially mine. I'm not even watching it. I'm just sitting here in Lambeau. But we're all kind of helping each other and talking and trying to fill in the blanks. But I think there's a lot of blanks for everybody, especially just because no one could watch offense and defense at the same time.
Well, everybody that I read insisted that Devontae Parker was in bounds on a touchdown catch that the referees ruled out of bounds. That he said he didn't hold on to the ball, and then their proof was they asked Parker afterwards, and he said he had it. Oh, okay.
He thought he was in bounds.
Yeah.
But I did see the other one that looked like I saw the ref going incomplete, and and then they celebrated. So hard to say, but I would say overall, they've done some good things on both sides of the ball these 2 days. I think it was valuable. A lot of guys got work, and I think there's good stuff to take away, barring a Keon White injury, which I think everybody would like to avoid at this point.
What about the Taekwon injury?
I think that was one I didn't see either. He left the field during the early period, so not sure exactly what that was, but we'll try to find out.
And was yesterday's practice 45 minutes or 3 hours? Because we've heard anything in between. Deuce?
People couldn't even agree on that, Mike.
Oh. Sorry, I lost you guys there.
Oh, people couldn't even agree on how long the practice was yesterday. Mike Reese, I think, had it at 2 hours, 27 minutes. I saw other people say over 3 hours.
I mean, they were supposed to stop at 12:30. They went till 1. So it was at least 2.5 to 3 hours.
That's a half hour longer than they were supposed to go. 2.5 hours.
Yeah. So it felt pretty relentless, though. I mean, it was just 11 on 11 rep after rep after rep. And then it's just it's overwhelming how much is going on both ends of the field. So. It certainly felt more than 3 hours because I have felt up like 4 pages in my notebook. But,
we've definitely seen that in joint practices in the past.
Yeah, they get going and let's not stop.
It takes more time.
It takes more time, but they do more. I think it becomes more productive than the preseason game.
Oh, I think it's so true, and it's so obvious how they break it down too, where it's they start with all first down work, first down, then they move to the middle of the field and they do, first down, second down. They've got, the chains out and everything, then it's red zone and then it's 2 minute. And, so it's no real mystery as to what the setup is, but they just blast through so many plays. It's hard to keep track of it all.
All right, Deuce, we'll let you get back to it. I know you got a lot of work to do once practice ends. So thanks for calling in.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Mike, we'll see you Saturday.
And I will see you tomorrow, so be prepared. Yep. All right.
You and Mike will be ships passing in the night.
Oh, that's right. You're leaving. Yeah, you're coming back to do the show. Yeah. Well,
I hope. Right now, it looks like I'm going to be in Chicago for a couple hours at least. So we'll see how it works.
I know. I got to go through there on the way there.
Also, never connect through Chicago, guys. Come on. That's the worst airport.
There's not a lot of options.
Not a lot of options for Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, it's either Detroit or Chicago.
Detroit. Never do Chicago.
I'm doing Detroit on the way home.
Trust me. Been there, done that. Got a T-shirt, keychain, and hat. Don't do it. That used to be my home base airport. It's so bad.
The good thing is I have a really early flight, so usually the later flights are the ones that get delayed. So.
But just both of those airports, you're always going to be canceled.
Oh, yeah. They called O'Hare the black hole because you go in, you don't come out.
Yes.
I just think, well, we don't have to get into that. Maybe that's a topic for Matisse's
rants.
Worst airport?
Well, just the state of air travel right now.
Oh, it's awful.
It's so bad.
I don't know why.
We're paying through the nose, and they treat us like animals.
And no flight can get anywhere on time.
And then the behavior of the people don't make it any better.
No.
The people just impolite. It's awful.
I had this one flight I was on recently where we're on the plane, and the guy's yelling at the flight attendant for how long they're taking to get the bags on the plane. And telling her how they should be getting the bags on the plane quicker and when they should have started putting them on.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and she was just like,
"What's she gonna do?
She's on the plane with you. What is she gonna do?"
Right.
It was absurd.
No, listen. I understand people get frustrated. I've been there, but there's nothing they can do.
Exactly.
Exactly. Flight travel is.
There's nothing that the crew can do, but there's something the airlines can do. It doesn't have to be every other flight's getting canceled or delayed.
Well, I believe there should be a passenger's bill of rights that we have rights, but then an agreement that passengers sign of behavior, sort of like, your parents at your youth sports.
Yeah, I get that, and I think that behavior is a lot of times ridiculously bad, and I just wonder what comes first.
Right.
Is it being treated like this, like time and time again? It's not cheap to travel.
No.
And it's not efficient to travel. What is in it for the passenger?
Here's something that kind of irked me the other day. I'm on X, and it was a writer.
Ecstasy.
And she was traveling, and she's like, I just can't believe the amount of people traveling that don't have TSA pre-check. In this day and age, why would anyone not have that? And I'm thinking to myself, lady, you're probably looking at a lot of people who this is their one and only flight this year.
Right.
Like, not everyone's like you where they're flying.
And if you have it, why would you care if other people that don't?
Right, because if everybody has it, then it doesn't work.
That's only making it worse for you.
Right, but like most people that you're looking at that don't have TSA, this is probably their one flight a year. So like.
Do you have it, Fred?
I just got it.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I just got it. Yeah. But like, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, knock on wood, that's one of the very few things I've never really had a problem with is going through the security, the check.
I only got it because of the airports that I consistently fly in and out of. So, like, Atlanta Airport is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, and without it, you will wait in that line for,
it's
like,
definitely
3
worth
hours.
having. You should, if you fly a few times a year, you should get it.
But for certain people, like, if you live in Providence, for example, you probably don't need it. Like, I show up to the airport 10 minutes before my flight boards.
Yeah.
And it's fine. But it depends on where you live, I think.
Yeah. All right. Back to the phones. We'll go to Paul in Vancouver. What's up, Paul?
Hey, Fred. How you doing?
Good. I'm in trouble with
A lot of
phones
cell
today.
problems today.
The hell that segment was there earlier you had on.
Uh-oh.
I said I've been listening for a long time, and I would say that's the.
I think this is Matt cutting him off on purpose. All right, Paul, call back. John's in Duxbury. What's up, John?
Gentlemen and ladies, how are you?
Good.
Hey, John.
Hi.
Listen, since Boutte's coming on and Cunningham has flashed, what are the chances, do you think, of getting them through waivers onto the practice squad?
I think that'll be okay. I mean, most teams they've got their depth at receiver, and is Boutte that much better than another team's fourth receiver?
Yeah, I would worry more about Booty than I would Cunningham, but there's always a risk, and Bill says this all the time. Anytime you cut a guy, you have to be prepared that you're going to lose him. So we've seen guys, get claimed off waivers that they tried to get to the practice squad many times, and there's a chance that they could lose both of those guys if they try to do that. Booty, I would say, just because I think teams are always looking for depth at various positions, I think a quarterback is a little bit different. Now, if he plays more in these preseason games and flashes, more than he did even against Houston, then that might change it. Right now, I have reasonable confidence, though, that you could get him through. But not easy. You got to hope.
Yeah. Joe in Warwick, New York, says, Pats fan for 60 years, can't stand the Jets. 2 scenarios. Would you like the Patriots to get 11 wins and an early exit from the playoffs, but the Jets make it to the Super Bowl, or the Patriots get 7 wins, but the Jets implode and get 5 wins? I'll take the 7 wins and 5.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah.
I'll take 11 wins.
I would not be able to stomach the Jets getting to the Super Bowl.
So
even if they get there and lose.
I get it. You hate the Jets more than you like the Patriots. I like the Patriots more than I hate the Jets.
No, I hate the Jets more than...
Separates us.
I hate the Jets more than an early exit in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would rather win 11 games and be on my way to getting back into contention here. I'd be disappointed the Patriots lost their first playoff game after winning 11 games, but I would at least have hope for the future. What was the second scenario? Winning 6 or 7 games?
Yeah.
Now I need a new quarterback next year. I'd probably need a new coach next year. Yeah.
Not necessarily. It could have been because of injuries or whatever, but to put the Jets on the trash heap just solves one problem that we have.
That's not a problem for me, though. I'm a Patriots fan, so the Jets is not a problem for me.
It might be this year.
For you, it is. You hate the Jets more than you like the Patriots.
James,
that's how we're separated.
So far, the reviews are in on the show within a show. Not good so far.
Really?
Yeah, not good.
I have a good review from Chris Gogolos. He said he enjoyed it.
Okay.
Don't hate the pilot.
Okay. No. Listen, if you went by the pilot, Seinfeld would have never continued.
So I saw our buddy Chris Gogolos the other night at the game.
Yeah. Shooting for NFL Films, the
Yes.
traitor.
I think he's listening to the show right now, by
Good.
the way.
Traitor.
Go. Saw him in the tunnel.
No, I'm only kidding. Do some part-time work for them. That'd be good for him.
Yeah, it sounds like you're really happy for him.
Travis says he'd rather listen to commercials than that segment.
Wow.
Wow. It's too bad.
I'm going to have to listen to the next one because I only caught a couple of the topics. I didn't really hear
It'll be
them.
better when we're giving
didn't really
stuff
hear
away.
them discussed.
When we're giving stuff away,
Still not really sure what it's for.
people. I don't know why.
It's taking away the focus
Yeah,
from
why
me and
are
you,
we
Fred.
doing that, Matt? Why are we doing the show within a show?
We don't run 10 minutes of commercials anymore.
But we don't need to run 10 minutes of commercials. You can shorten it to whatever you need to shorten it to.
No, we have to eat, Paul.
Fred, you eat in 30 seconds.
Not
Then you throw the
necessarily.
rest to Tamara so she can finish the rest for you.
No, we need at some point some kind of break so we can eat, and if we can entertain during that break rather than just the same Bank of America commercial. No disrespect to the Bank of America, but if, the same commercial over and over again. I think that's better.
I don't think you need to run 8 or 10 minutes of commercials.
But-
I know Matt does that so he allows us more time, but we don't need that.
But so in this case, maybe we can do something that people like. So it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress.
That's just taking away the focus from me and you, Fred. I don't like that.
No, it gives us a chance to eat, Paul, for crying out loud.
Oh, I'm going to eat either way, so I don't really care.
Especially with the cameras now, you get food out. And nobody wants to look at that, a half-eaten sandwich.
So the solution to that is put the cameras away. No one wants to look at this either.
No, I know, but people want the cameras.
Yeah, I don't really think they do.
No? We've had many people saying, we hope that
Yeah.
all the shows are on YouTube.
Yeah, it's kind of like Twitter followers. It's the same 12 people.
Oh, is that right? You think so? Could be. A vocal minority.
I just don't know anyone who likes watching radio on TV.
When I'm home, I don't mind watching the Felger show on TV.
Yeah, I don't watch it. I put it on as white noise in the background, but I'm not watching
Yeah, but
it.
every once in a while you look up.
Veronica said that her dad watches, physically watches it at home.
Felger and Mass?
No, our show.
Our show.
Oh, God bless him.
Literally, our show.
God bless him.
She walked in and he was watching one from 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And Veronica was like, shut that off. I see enough of those morons.
Yeah. So I think, but like I said, I will watch the Felger show.
Yeah, I'm not saying I've never put it on, but I don't actively watch it. Is my point.
Well, you
it's
with
not
the
good,
clicker. I mean,
but it's not
you're
good.
crazy.
But it's not good TV. It's not a good viewing experience.
Yeah.
It's a studio, just like this right now.
I know.
That's not good. I'm looking at myself right now. Not good.
But you see their reactions, you see their faces. I don't know.
I will say certain reactions, especially from Paul, they're good to see.
That's why I don't like the cameras.
Well, I mean, when Paul and I get into one of our
Last show, if the cameras were on, it would have been amazing.
Oh, when I almost snarfed.
Yeah.
When he said the thing
Yeah.
about hating the Jets, and I almost
Yeah.
had the Diet Pepsi come out my nose.
So we'll get there. We'll get there. Work in progress. And I think what we're working on, Matt, I don't want to get. We're going to have all the shows on video, not just Thursday, right? Yeah. Thumbs up.
So we're going in the wrong direction.
Tuesday,
what you telling me?
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all video, So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
You're gonna have to get all dolled up and everything, Yeah.
Paul's like, no. Mm-mm.
Oh, that's bad.
Paul, you're gonna have to get dolled up too.
This is as dolled as it gets.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna be it, boys and girls, for this edition of.
So a good day too.
Patriots
in Green
Unfiltered.
Bay, by all accounts.
Very
according to
excited
Twitter.
going into the preseason game on Saturday. Pre-game show 4:30.
5:30.
5:30 to 7:30.
Correct.
Wait, but before that, you can listen
Wait,
to
there's more.
Catch 22 today, between 5 and 6.
Okay, I thought they were doing that on Friday. They're doing it today.
Yeah, today
Okay.
from 5 to 6.
Okay, and that'll be on camera.
Matt, you seem
Okay.
You seem thrilled.
So catch 22 today, 5 to 6. Pre-game social, 5:30 to 7:30 on Saturday. Then the post-game show
immediately following.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.
The world's original podcast.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like my plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get my plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get my plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
What?